Yo, okay, there we go. Can I? Yo, okay. All right, what's up? I'm over here in Second Life, and I thought I would start loading it. Where the hell did this guy go? There was a guy here I was hanging out with. So this is my Second Life game that I talk about sometime, and it's kind of funny. So I'm in a place that I normally hang out, and it's kind of funny because in this area we had a spot where we hung out and we got kicked out of it, and now we started hanging out here in this area, and then somebody made a little park, and then they called it Misfits Park because we all got kicked out. So this is like our like homeless encampment. But there's a dude that's building this place. He's making like a mesh model, and he built this gate in Blender. He built this gate, he built the walls, he built the ground and all that, and I was sitting here hanging out with him a little bit. He's some guy from the UK. He's pretty cool, actually. He's a big werewolf guy, but they were all hanging out here, and then they left. Wait, what the fuck? It says two people are next to me? Okay. Why are they green, though? This is really stupid, man. I get so annoyed with this. I don't know why. Bro, I swear, dude, this is fucking annoying. I want to show you something. Okay, so I don't know what these people are doing, but there's these two girls that I ended up talking to, and they're locals here. They always come here every day. I come here all the time, and we've been seeing each other for like a year or two. And it's kind of weird, but we ended up beefing in the end. And it wasn't because of me. It was because of the girl. It wasn't because of me, but anyway, they just started talking, like, I don't know, they got jealous because I started dating some girl in SL, like, and they started getting jealous and they started calling us idiots and stuff, and I started getting mad about that because I was like, you know what, don't disrespect me because I've never disrespected you, so, you know what I mean, like, F you. So anyway, I ended up blocking them, right? Like, I ended up blocking them from, oh my god, I ended up blocking them from, so I can't talk to them or see them. Oh my god, she left. Ugh. So I blocked them so they I can't see them and I can't talk to them. But it looks like they're doing something that makes it where they can still see me, which is weird. I mean, they can still, like, they can unblock themselves. I don't know how they do it, but it only happens to them because there's other people that I have blocked and they never unblock themselves. It's only these two people. And it really makes me mad because she wants to insult me and she wants to, like, make me feel less than a person. And then when I'm like, okay, I'll just disconnect from you and you can go your way and I'll go my way and we won't have to bother each other. Instead of just letting that be fine, she has to be vindictive and try to unmute herself and force herself on me. And I'm just like, dude, that's like toxic as fuck. You know what I mean? Okay. 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 So anyway, yeah, so it's kind of toxic what she's doing, dude. Like, it makes me upset because I'm like, just leave me alone. Like, seriously, if you don't want to be my friend, you want to make me feel like less than a person, then don't bother with me. Like, just leave me the fuck alone and I'll leave you the fuck alone. And she's the only one that she insults me. I never insult her. She keeps calling me an idiot and making and putting names on me. Even when I have her muted, she's insulting me. Other people have told me, oh, she's talking shit again, you know? So I'm like, whatever, screw her. She was in the area that I was just in, and I noticed it right now. And I was like, why are they green? They should be gray because I blocked them. But anyway, it's kind of funny. So there's another story. There's another girl that was just right here, which I started talking to, and she's cute as fuck, dude. She's fine as fuck. She showed me her like Instagram or whatever, and she was looking good, dude. And she'd be sending me pictures on Discord or something. Like we were talking on Discord, and she'd be sending me pictures on there, and I'm just like, damn, bro. She's fine ass body. She's cute, and we were getting along. Like me and her were like hanging out. We were with each other a lot, and we were like flirting all the time. And then I explained to her. This is why I'm getting upset though. I explained to her that I had a girl at the time in this game, that I was like kind of like dating somebody, but I told them that if we're going to be like seeing each other, that I'm going to be seeing other people, because in this game I talk to a lot of girls. So I was like, don't be surprised if I'm with somebody else, like that kind of, like, it's an open relationship, so don't be surprised. So I told the newer girl this, that, oh, I'm dating some girl, but it's an open relationship, so it's like whatever, blah blah blah, and she was cool with it, right? And then like all of a sudden I try to explain to her, oh, I broke up with her, like the girl that I was like seeing. I'm like, oh, we broke up, blah blah blah. And then she's like, okay, cool. So then the ex girl comes to visit me because we were hanging out in this place for a long time. So it'd be awkward for us to just ignore each other. So we kind of still hang out as friends. And we were hanging out. And then the cute girl that I was talking to over here, she saw that, and she messaged me and got all crazy. And she's like, um, oh, I see you're with her again. And you guys must be together. If you look in her profile, she has a picture of you guys together, and her profile picture was me and her, like a couple posing. You know what I mean? And I was like, what the? I was like, dude, we're not together. She just has that in her profile. Like, it's not my fault. Like, what the hell did you want me to do about that? Like I tried to explain to her we're not together. So I got pissed. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna take no shit from anybody. Like, this girl obviously is acting toxic because she has like territorial issues, I guess, where I have to be only hers or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I don't play that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna play that because I'm not gonna be her sucker. Like, I'm not gonna be this dude that's like, oh, I'm here for you, only for you, only for you, and then low key she's like banging other people. So I'm like, dude, get out of here. I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, it's petty. Second Life is petty as fuck. Second Life is really stupid because it's like kind of pathetic. It's just like this digital relations. But I have fun with it. It's just something. It's something that I do. It's my guilty pleasure, and I like it. I like to meet girls in Second Life. So here I am now in Second Life. I have a couple friends on, but they're not talking to me. I met this girl earlier today, but she said something about she's going to be busy for some time because she's at work or something, and she'll let me know when she gets back. And then I was talking to this girl, but she won't fucking reply to me. I'm like, hey, what's up? I added her yesterday, I think, and she won't reply. And then what happened? I messaged this girl, and she won't reply either. It's kind of pissing me off. I'm getting like a little rash of like girls that add me and then don't talk to me. And I'm like, don't do that, dude. Like, don't fucking add me and then all of a sudden act like I'm not there. You know what I mean? Like, that gets under my skin. Because what did I say to her? I said, oh, great, how are you? Hey. I said, how are you today? She said, great, how are you? I said, okay, I'm at working, or, oh, are you busy in SL? She said, I guess. So she didn't reply, and then I said, I guess you're busy. And then she just didn't reply. That I don't like. Like, this, for me, is remove. Like, I think I'm gonna remove her as a friend. Because I don't go for that. Like, if you're gonna treat me like I'm not there, you might as well not be on my friends list. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck if you're fine. I don't give a fuck how fine you are, how freaky you are. I don't give a fuck if you got a gang of money or whatever. Like, if you're gonna treat me less than who I am, then I'm good on that. So this is an area that I hang out. It's kind of where all the new people start. So it's kind of nice because there's a lot of femboy. I kind of figured with the flat chest. But if you're gonna treat me like less than I am, I'm not gonna fuck with you. But anyway, I come here because there's a lot of new people that come here, and it's kind of cool because there's more traffic, so it's a lot of opportunity to meet new people. So I often come to this area. So let's go somewhere else because it's kind of dying here. We'll go here to another place where the new people start. So this is. It's saying that the frames are off or something. This stream's current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use a bitstream mode. I don't understand how to do that. Let me see. Let me take this to GPT because YouTube is saying something's wrong with the stream bitrate. YouTube is saying this. I'm using OBS to stream to YouTube. How can I fix this? YouTube is basically telling you that your OBS output rate is higher than what you're currently streaming, setting YouTube expectations. It's easy. Here's exactly how to fix on OBS. Go to settings, output streaming bitrate. So settings, output streaming bitrate. Okay. Change it from 6,200 to 2,500. 6,500 to 2,500. Okay. Okay, it says I have to restart, so let me try doing that. I'm gonna stop stream and start it again. Oh my god, it's saying that stream is poor. Okay, I'm gonna stop stream again. I'm gonna stop stream again in total and try to get the whole thing reset. So hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back. So it looks like our streaming kind of fixed. I think we're back streaming again, but hopefully everything is fine. Oh boy. So I'm just trying to find something to do so I'm not so bored. I'm getting like really bad frames though here. Like I'm framing pretty tough. I wonder if I could turn graphics down some. Hopefully this doesn't screw up the avatars. So that girl that I was talking about that got mad about the ex-girlfriend, she hit me back up and she's like, "Oh, I'm ready to hang out." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I was like, "Oh, where do you want to go? Like, do you want, I forget what I told her. I was like, where do you want me to meet you? Do you want me to come to you or do you want me to go somewhere? Or do you want, I basically try to get her to my house, I think. I'm like, okay, can you invite me, please? Or I can bring you to the beach house. This is somewhere that we used to hang out a few times. So usually I'll if I meet somebody and we get along, I'll try to bring them to my house here, and then we'll just kind of fool around. I think I don't have it anymore, but this girl, I think she put a picture up of herself in my house. She had a picture right here on the wall of her, so like I could see her. She's fucking fine, dude. Like in real life, she's cute as fuck, but she's pissed at me. So she has a picture of her profile, but it's not her. Like I first thought this was her, but this is not her. I think it's one of those AI pictures. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. So one thing I forgot is that I talked to her through a translator. Spanish, I think it is. I thought I saved a picture of her somewhere. I must have deleted it because we weren't talking. I wish I would have chased her a long time ago when she got mad at me. She got mad at me for seeing the other girl and she deleted me and made like a fuss and one of those things where you're supposed to chase the girl. No, please, you don't understand. But I was more offended with it when she did that. I was more offended at her because she knew the whole situation. She knew that I was with somebody and I was still with her. I was with both of them at the same time and they both knew about it. So I'm like, don't, why are you being weird now that I'm breaking up with her? Like, you're making it seem like I'm still with her. Kind of stupid girl logic, man. I don't understand it. I'm not even going to bother trying to. So when she did that, I just said, F it. I said, F it. I'm getting out of here. Damn. No. Sin. I will restart. Maybe it's me. Here, I'll take her a screenshot so she can kind of see. what I'm seeing. So I'm gonna reset the game. I don't think it'll mess with the stream. Hopefully not. What the? Okay, not OBS. We want this. Shit. Okay, so OBS is not showing now. So because I closed down Second Life, so I'm trying to restart it. I was just trying to make sure it doesn't show anything bad. Hopefully it fixes her thing. I need to hear something because I'm fucking. It's too quiet for me. Okay, we're back in this hell. It's just load. It takes a long time to load because I'm on my laptop. So she wants me to add her back as a friend. I'm kind of bummed, bro, because this girl right here, she was such a good girl, bro. Like, oh my god, this girl blew my mind. I was like, damn. She just was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like everything I asked, she was doing it, and I just was like, damn, this girl's good. And she loved it. She loved to be like all up on me and like just all there. Um, but I just played it cool because I think she's from a whole ass another country, so I don't really get to. It's like whatever. Like we're just kind of chilling. So I need to kind of grovel a little bit and be humble. So the funny thing is, the place that I go to where I met her, she started showing up a little by little. She doesn't show up as much, and she was showing up little by little. So I started seeing her again, and I was like, let me reach out to her because I like her. I mean, she got on voice for me, and she tried talking to me. She could only speak Spanish, I think. She don't know what to think about that. I don't know. She's so weird. So I found something kind of weird with girls in Second Life. Like, it's kind of weird because, like, in some way, you can see that a lot of the girls are kind of like flirtatious. You know, they'll have a lot of guys. They'll jump from guys to guys a lot. You know what I mean? Not all of them, some of them. But then when you kind of do it, they don't like that. Like, it's kind of a, it's kind of like do what I say, don't do as I do, you know? And like, I got tired of that. So I was like, you know what, dude? F it. I'm not even going to try to be monogamous with these girls. Like, I'm not going to try to make this thing like, you're my only girl type thing. I don't want you with nobody else. Like, at this point, I'm like, look, like, if I meet a girl in here and she's cute and we have fun talking and blah, 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 and we want to sit with each other all the time, you know, cool. But like, you're not going to be my only one. I might meet somebody better than you, and you might meet somebody better than me. So, you know, don't keep that in mind. You know what I mean? And if it does happen, don't be upset. Like don't be upset if I meet somebody. Don't be. I'm not gonna be upset if you meet somebody personally, I'll be fucking bummed out, but I can't force that. So if it is what it is, if it happens, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But I noticed a lot of girls don't like that. They get really mad about it. They get pissed. Like, not all of them, but some of them will get pissed. I'll explain. Like, there'll be girls that we get along and we're like, oh, you know, everything's going so well. And then I'm like, I explain that to them, you know, and then they're like, I'm sorry, but I can't do that with you. I need like the guy to only be mine, you know? And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. Instead of like trying to change myself, I'm like, okay, well, sorry, bye. I let him go. Later, bitch. So it's stupid, and this is all really
what
dumb.
What you hear
like,
a month
Second
ago
Life
is
all
being done
really
by the
dumb.
White House now. What you hear a week ago is word for word today, because I know my business. By the way, General Flynn, who knows his business, the former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, former top national security advisor to the president, joins us on this subject. And more. So much more. A bunch of other gigantic gas smoking gun evidence of the electronic voting machine fraud. Huge investigation.
I don't know what's going on
an
here.
exclusive look at that.
I think I'm supposed to see. It looks like she has her alphas on.
Stuart Rhodes in
And
studio.
she
Stay
doesn't
with us. I'm
realize
Alexander
it,
Edward
or
Jones.
it's just not. It's just me. Sometimes the game works out.
You are
You might be able to
beyond
fix her.
insane.
Let's see. No.
If you don't support us, if you don't support this broadcast, I mean, I'm being honest. It's like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. It's like going into the Sahara Desert without a canteen of water. It's like sticking your wiener, you know, in somebody that's got 14 diseases without a condom. Sorry for the gross thing. The point is, shouldn't do it anyways. The point is that I need your support. And I'm only going to sell you stuff that works really great. Like I said, I've opened a restaurant to be the best food, best prices, best atmosphere, quality, service, because I want you to come in 1,000 times. I want a relationship with you. The products are insane. Ultramethylene blue, the Shilajit, the Irish sea moss, the bovine colostrum, not a sexy name, but what it does for your hair, skin, and whole body, and everything else is insanely good. We have the biggest show in the history of the AlexanderStore.com right now, running till Friday. Black Friday comes early. Buy any supplement. You can buy a supplement that costs $20 and then get a $40 supplement for free. It's not just buy one, get another free of the same thing. We've done that quite a few times. This is buy any supplement, get any other one free. All the new designs, all the new apparel in, the biggest selection of Patriot apparel in the world. Now 670-something designs, all caps, you name it. 25% off on all that, and a bunch of other insane sales. If you're a VIP, you get $40 to spend the store each month. Special deals, special offers.
But I'm trying not to be like that. I think she's over it now, and she wants to get back into it with me.
Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war. Share the live feeds.
So let's just see if we can sit together. If she's cool with that, that'll be fun.
You want to fight? You better believe you got one!
It's funny, this little Alex Jones reacting like he's gonna fight the AI. That's literally using the AI to do all his commercials.
Yeah. It's a new morning and I'm still here in the fight for humanity.
Yeah, so we can sit together.
But you are the backers of this operation. You are the InfoWar. So go now to InfoWarsStore.com, where we got probably the final shipment of the highest quality fish oil.
Avatar's cute
and the
fuck.
highest quality turmeric, Body's Ultimate Turmeric, 95% cumenoid. Those are both 40% off. I want to thank you all for your past support, but you've invested in this operation. It's paid off in Global Awakening. It's been so incredible. Thank you so much for being part of this operation. So as all of our family members in the InfoWar, all of our team members, all of the emissaries, all the ambassadors of freedom against the globalists, that now at the thick of the battle, as you see it peaking and peaking and peaking, just as I've said, I don't come out here and talk about civil war and their plans for insurrection, their plans for military coups, just to sound scary. And then now they're openly calling for it. U.S. senators,
so she's
members
on
of
our
Congress, CIA,
viewer, so she cannot
because we're
see
beating
what we're
them,
doing.
and it's the last move they've got.
She just
we're
sees
also going to
text.
add a link at
So she,
InfoWarsStore.com
what they see
today.
is like stick
You
figures.
can make
They
straight
don't really see
donations
the
on
mesh
there
avatars.
so that we get all the money and we can get past the shortfall. So I don't want to spend our valuable time on this.
So if you don't know about Second Life,
the truth is just a tap away.
In Second Life, there's
Go to
furniture that you can sit with each other
and download the Alex Jones app, available now on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Her avatar is kind of
Stream
broken
the latest shows,
because
stay up to
you
date
cannot
with
see it, which is
breaking
weird
news,
because I
and
saw her
support
earlier
free
and it's
speech
fine,
with every
and
click.
then all of a sudden it's broken.
Grab your t-shirts, hats,
But
supplements,
since she's on the
and more,
phone, she
all
cannot
inside the
really
app.
fix it.
Don't wait. Download the Alex Jones app today
So I'm
and
just
join the
trying to
fight
get
for
closer
freedom.
with her again because, like I was trying to tell you, we kind of broke up a little bit. And,
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones. If you are receiving this transmission,
she just, I guess she just, I think she really liked me.
From the Infowars.com
Like
studios,
me.
it's Alex
Jones.
Jones.
I thought we were just playing around, and I think she started liking me. And when she saw the other girl with me, she got jealous, and she was like, fuck her, like, what are you doing with her? You should do it with me, kind of
the
thing.
same globalist, BlackRock, Obama, John
And it's kind of sad because the girl that she got mad over, I left. Like, I'm not even with her. Like, I'm not even. I don't like her at all. And
that will come after some catalyzing false flag event. Now, General Flynn, the former head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, has been warning of this. I've been warning of this, and there's really few others that have studied it or understood it for whatever reason, and who go read the Podesta plan and seeing them execute every piece of it. So the focus is on this statement telling the military, don't follow orders, basically. You could argue that's free speech, but not who produced it, not who gave them the script, and it's Brennan, we know.
Okay,
and then they now admit they were given the script.
I should stop poking about
and it's
that.
this continuum of crossfire hurricanes and Arctic frost and all the fake impeachments meant to undermine a duly elected government. That is treason. That is seditious conspiracy. That is illegal. And Trump, as General Flynn has said many times, has a special oath that no one else gets. He's the only person elected by everybody. The whole nation votes on him. Protect, preserve, and defend. Preserve. He doesn't have a right. He has a duty to execute. And now as it becomes existential, that people know this is very serious. And we see Comey and Letitia and all those scams getting them off so far, that this is game time. So we have a plan. General Flynn has a plan. We were literally simpatico during the break, finish each other's sentences of what needs to be done, what must be done now. So General Flynn, you've got the floor for the next 20 minutes. I know you got to go after that. Thank you so much. And again, you finished my sentence. Okay, it's cutesy. Do the turkey pardoning. We need a national address, General Flynn.
Yeah, so let me just tick off a number of things here because I was preparing to come on your show. And this is
I was trying to get her on Discord so I could get some more pictures from her.
And it is exactly what you've been talking about for a long time. I've been on your show a number of times saying these things, frankly, for the last year. And what I think what all the American people are starting to realize is that this is getting very serious. The opposition, the left in our country, now with this seditious six. So just a couple of things here, because I think people need to, we need to remind ourselves of the things that have already taken place that are part of this color revolution that we are in the middle of. And, you mentioned Crossfire Hurricane and Arctic Frost, but it's Russiagate, it's Spygate, it's Impeachmentgate. It's all the indictments between when Trump was 45 and now that he's 47. It's all of the attacks against all the lawfare that was going on after the stolen elections of 2020. And I'm telling you, Alec, just on a sidebar note on the stolen elections of 2020, there is so much damning evidence that we now have because people like Tulsi Gabbard has stepped in and weighed in. And there are some other people that have now come
Give
forward.
Me a second.
It's going to be very ugly very soon. And I know that the President of the United States is aware of a lot of what I'm talking about right now. We've had leaks, just these incredible leaks. Never mind this latest leaks from about the Witkoff and the peace plan between Russia and Ukraine. We've had all these wars, right? These loser wars, Ukraine and Russia, the one I just mentioned, the Middle East. I mean, the money laundering that has occurred from the Afghanistan war, what we are learning from Congress, members of Congress, about NGOs stealing millions, probably billions of dollars, and they're still getting paid for things coming out of Afghanistan. I mean, this is insane. The drugs, right? The fentanyl coming out of China. the illegal immigration to the tune of 20 million under the Biden administration, the human trafficking and the skyrocketing trafficking of children, the Epstein files, the Epstein affair. I keep saying the Epstein affair is not going to go away. And Donald Trump knows this now. This is something that is an elite class of people that have done such damage to children, never mind what they have done to the moral fabric of not only our country, but the rest of the world. The latest is the Seditious Six. They call it the Seditious Six. That's what you showed earlier when you had Stephen Miller talking to Jesse Walters there. So what do we need? We need a couple of things. Number one, we need the Oval Office to throttle, and I mean throttle down on this idea of information operations and understand that we are in the middle of what is called unrestricted warfare. Unrestricted warfare is where it is boundless what you can do. And it comes out of, you've talked a lot about this, Alex, it comes out of the Chinese manual back in the late 90s, which I've read that a bunch of times. I've written a manual myself on fifth generation warfare. It is unrestricted warfare is without bounds. That is what we are in the midst of right now, and everybody needs to understand that. So
you're talking full spectrum war.
She has too much of a good memory, bro. I don't know what she's tripping on. She's like, you removed me 2 times.
Illegal exploitation of different commodities.
Think about today. Stop thinking about that's typical girl shit.
Talking about
they remember shit that you will never remember.
Action and false flags when it comes to economic warfare.
She bring up some old shit.
You say you're going to do something and you do just the opposite. It's the whole idea about using the information like TikTok. Trump will sit there, and I hope he's listening to this. Trump will sit there and go, G and I just had a great call, and we're going to do the following things. Well, when Trump hung up, he has a duty, which he does. He tells the American people, G and I just had a great call, and we're going to do all these great things, and we're going to have trade deals, and we're going to do TikTok and blah, 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 and we're going to 600,000 students for the next couple of years from China. Xi hangs up and tells his team, great, we got exactly what we want out of them. We're going to triple down, we're going to quadruple down, and we're going to continue to screw the United States of America. That's how they operate, Alex. They don't operate like Donald J. Trump operates, because he, as you said, he does have a duty to preserve the Constitution of the United States. He has the duty to inform our country and the people of our country, because we're a democracy, we're a republic, and he's trying to be as transparent as he can be. But trust me, we are not dealing with an even hand here. We're not. These people that are operating against us, never mind the drug cartels and all these other actions that are happening inside of our own country.
And sir, I want you to get to the Seditious Six, and Miller pointing out from their CIA sources that it is a CIA op with John Brennan behind it. But something you said.
I said this. Yeah, go ahead.
Something you said that was so key that I don't want to just glaze over.
She has some weird.
I was going to come on the show and start with this today, and I forgot. I'm glad we didn't talk. We're simpatico's. We're looking at the same information.
Funny.
People are saying,
the Democrats might really cute, I have to give her
win the midterms. They're not going to launch their full Podesta plan, uprising, riots, collapse.
It's kind of why I'm trying to get her to fix it, though.
Their money has been massively cut off. All these new scandals are coming out. Trump has actually gotten some good people in there. All these whistleblowers are coming in. So they're cornered. They have to make this move. And don't follow the orders of the commander-in-chief ahead of this big event they're going to stage that the CIA elements that are good have now warned Trump. What you're saying is their back's against the wall. This is coming to a head. Am I correct?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, their backs are against the wall. They are not about to like
animation whenever I say LOL.
Okay, everybody out there
it does die in Bunny, and then it makes a sound like a rabbit.
To InfoWars or anywhere else that gets this.
And they die.
These people will not roll over. They will come up with the next plan and the next plan. They are following their plan to the letter. And what we need to do is we need to recognize, number one, they have a plan, and it's being put into place. This Seditious Six, these people, what caught my eye was not that there was military people. It was this former CIA officer that's now a member of
a protege of Brennan. A protege of Brennan.
Yeah, and so I'm going to talk about John Brennan here in a second. But that caught my attention because I was like, wait a second, this is different. It's not because they were telling military people you can't do the following things, you should disobey orders. I mean, the people in the military know this. They know this. what caught my eye and caught my attention was that there was somebody from the intelligence community. And I think Stephen Miller rightly picked up on that as well, because this is a seditious conspiracy. They had to have gotten together in order to create this message and then to put it out the way that they put it out. So I don't want to just focus on that, okay? Because I think that is one tactic, one element in a wider color revolution.
And that's how the controlled DOJ is going to sabotage, is only focusing on that statement. Instead, we now have another congressman who didn't end up being part of it. He admits, oh, we were given a script. By who?
Yeah, by who? By who? So what do we do? Now, let's talk about what we do, right? Because the President of the United States, we're getting ready to go into the Thanksgiving period here in the United States of America, right? The President, I believe, if I was standing in the Oval Office there with President Trump, I would say, I think it's time now to basically address the nation. I think President Donald J. Trump needs to address the nation and tell us what we have been talking about. So the people of the world, because it'll be, if he addresses the nation in a very important way and in a very smart way, and believe me, it's not just to the American people, it'll be to the world.
I was about to say, the message to Putin and Xi and Nicolas Maduro, if Trump does that, they know, oh my God, they're addressing the coup plan instead of fighting the different permutation psyops. You don't do that, you go to the heart. You don't kill a hydra attacking the head, you go to the heart.
That hurts.
You go to the heart. And this is what I'm talking about. So it has to be very smartly done, whether he does it tonight or whether he does it, in the next couple of days. President Trump, you need to address the nation on exactly what is happening. And you also need to address the nation on what you are doing about it. What things you have directed.
Yeah, not a one-off like, oh, it's another Russiagate, or oh, they're full of crap. He needs to sit there at the Resolute desk like it's a biggest deal ever. Yeah.
Lay it out. This is countering unrestricted warfare now. We are in the midst of a color revolution. President Trump,
so I don't want to bring up that other girl because she got mad about her, and she thought that, I don't know, she thought that I would prefer to be with the other girl than her, which wasn't the case.
One of the things that I wrote down here today is that I actually, because of this CIA issue that's bubbled up, he needs to direct John Ratcliffe, and I mean, I would every day be on his ass.
Ordering.
Direct John Ratcliffe to immediately get in there inside of the agency and figure out who's doing what. We haven't heard bleep out of CIA Director Ratcliffe. I have not heard about any of the reforms going on in there. And I don't think there's
she should have just told me to fucking come to her or something like, hey, I'm here, I want to see you. And then I would have came. I would have told the other guy I got to go. But she just saw me with her because we're in the same area, and she's like, fuck that bitch.
Because this is the ongoing thing.
She's like, she tried to tell me twice already, but she's like, she's got a picture of you in her profile. Like, she just got jealous.
That's where I'm heading to.
She doesn't need to be jealous.
Finish each other's sentences. So John Brennan, who's the culprit?
I don't want to go into details about
who's the operational commander running the color revolution, this coup d'etat that is continuing to on-go here against the United States of America. The guy who's at the head of it is John Brennan. And John Brennan, and I hope he's listening because he listens. I know he does. He knows exactly. Sometimes when I put stuff out, I get all kinds of hate mail, right, from different people. Yeah, with his shit-eating grin. President Trump actually could and should bring this guy in immediately. Put him under the lights and have him answer questions about what he's been doing. Now, let me tell you what I know that he's been doing, okay? John Brennan has been colluding with with people inside of our government. Okay, what I just said is very damaging and very damning. So inside of our government, he's been colluding with people outside of the government.
I was with the other girl, and the other girl had priority because she was like the main girl. So every time she was online, I had to be with her. But I met this girl, and she was cute as fuck, and she was like down as fuck, and she was all about me. So I was like, I'm gonna leave the original one for her. So I tried to break up with the other one, but then I ended up losing both of them, which is typical for me. It's typical for me. If I juggle two girls and try to like juggle two or more, I'll lose both of them. It's a weird habit.
I want to know everything that you're doing to get after these issues. We see some of the things that Pete Hegseth is doing. We see some of the things that Tulsi Gabbard is doing. We see not enough of what's coming out of the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice.
Hey, just like they would brief us about a war we're going into. This is the most important war since 1776 or the Civil War. We need constant addresses to this to point out why these attacks, why this undermining continue. You're absolutely right. So, General, do this.
I was with the other girl and I didn't care, but I didn't even know she was there. Like, I was talking to the other girl and I didn't even realize that this girl was online. And then she's like,
and he's a
oh,
speechwriter.
you would rather be with her than me.
Just spend a few minutes.
And that's what I'm saying.
One of the
All
main
that is little
topics
just
Trump,
kidding bullshit. I don't care. Like, that's not, I don't give a fuck. Like, don't play that little jealous BS with me, because that, to me, that doesn't get me.
They denied they were killing people. The president there to show a 5-minute video. This is easy. He does a speech. He has you address people.
Like, you get it. Yeah, we like each other. We'll screw around, but like, don't expect this to be
know
like
which team we're on. This is key in the battle space.
I don't know.
One of the points he would make up front the American people.
I don't know. I don't know what they want, like full on monogamous romance, and I'm like, that's cool and everything,
we just want him to do the right things. So,
I don't think it's realistic, especially online with games and everything. Like, we're just have fun with me, have fun being with me. Like, we can talk and flirt and joke and get romantic and stuff. But like,
you're the top expert. Miller's listening to us.
Don't get mad if I talk to somebody else.
What's the full scale of what is happening?
Because I know they've been doing that shit too, man. I get that shit all the time. These girls, look, I try to hit this girl. What are you doing? She didn't even reply to me. I guarantee you, she's probably with some dude. She's probably with some dude. They're sitting there talking, and she's entertaining. She likes the guy, and here I am waiting on standby. So like, that's why I don't. That's why I try to be like I'm saying, like, oh, if I talk to other girls, don't get mad, because like, you might be doing that too. She was with another fucking guy when I saw her today. Some other guy came in.
He recognizes what we recognize, so we gain a measure of trust in him that he understands and he knows what he's talking about. That's number one. The second thing is, here are the things that I have directed my team, and he needs to have them right there. And I'm talking about his national security team, his economic team, his close-in advisors. Here's what I have directed my team to do immediately. Number 3, he needs to say, these are the steps, top 3, top 5, whatever. These are the steps that I expect to have done in the next 30 days.
So,
and if we don't have that done in the next 30 days, I will then come back to you and let you know that we are not going to get to that, or we're not going to be able to accomplish it all in 30 days, because it's bigger even than I can see right now.
But he's reading us in on where we are, what they're trying exactly, and it's his duty. And so I'm thinking maybe the cabinet meetings he's been doing that are public, maybe that would be a good forum, or just resolute desk.
No. This can't be a couple of cameras, asking a question here and there, and a
huge production.
Here. This is a huge production. This is an address to the people of the United States of America, and President Trump knows this. If he speaks to America, he's speaking to the freedom-loving world.
And America wants to get the
The
orders,
girl
and we
that I
want to
was
be
talking
mobilized.
to, her name is
Exactly.
Rach.
We want to know.
So I was talking to this girl, Rach. We were kind of dating for whatever. We broke up. She had a picture of me in her profile with her, and I didn't give a fuck. If she wants it, that's fine. I don't care. It makes her happy, cool.
What do I do? What do I do? What can I do?
But this girl saw it and got pissed off and was like, remove me and complained about
He
it.
has to activate the people.
So I'm trying to tell her, like, the girl Rach, I told her about this. I was like, man, I was talking to some girl, she saw me with you, and she saw that you had a picture of us in your profile, and she got all pissed off, and she ended up removing me as a friend. Like, she deleted me. So the girl Rach ended up removing me from the picture.
So he's got this duty to do this.
In
So
her
he's got to say
profile.
kind of the what's happening.
I'm just trying to tell her, like,
what I have
she's
directed,
making too much
and now
drama,
here's
man.
what I
We need
need
to
you, the
get away
American
from this
people, to
argument.
do. And we will get behind him. There's no one. And you said this earlier, and I'm like this, Alex. If I see something that Trump is not doing, that I don't like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be public about it, and I am. And I also let behind the scenes know that hey, what the hell's going on here? But I'm telling you, there's not going to be anybody that's a bigger champion than me, because I could have walked away from this bullshit years ago and said, I'm going to go, fix my golf handicap. It sucks. It sucks because I have not given up.
Well, it's on record. They came to you, they came to Roger,
So
they came to
I'm
me,
just
and
trying
they
to
said,
get her to
turn on
stop
Trump, we'll stop
arguing
the
with me, because she's like, she wants to dwell on this shit.
This
I want to get over
existential.
this.
We're not just talking about some side issue. If Trump mobilizes the people, explains this all.
So I'm trying to change the subject, and I'm just cutting the whole argument and telling her that.
Then they are defanged right there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, can we not focus on that? Let's just be happy together.
Trump, you must do this. This is victory. People don't care about the side issues. They know we have a corrupt system. They want to be mobilized with the information. They want to be directed by you. You must activate the power of the people in the information war, and we will save the country and the world. We are at the precipice.
Last thing, he needs to quit going and he quit saying things like, "We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I've told the DOJ to do this or that." Stop that. Stop that. Tell the American people what it is that you want us to do. Tell us that you understand what we understand, that we are in the middle of a revolution, of a takeover of this country, because that's what it is. And and as I said earlier, I think he needs to call in Tulsi Gabbard. He needs to call in Susie Wiles. He needs to call in John Radcliffe and all the other members of his intelligence community, to include Pete Hegseth, who runs the largest part of the intelligence community.
Just a little bit worried because she's a little bit too possessive, and I don't like that.
About what John Brennan is doing, I want to know where he's at and everything he has said in the last 30 to 60 to 90 days.
And like you said, we got to have deadlines. Then
bring his ass in.
Bring his
the
ass
U.S. Marshal
in.
Service needs to go arrest that man. I'm telling you, I'm past the nonsense stage of my life. All these other great things that the president is trying to do.
Nonsense stage in my life.
But there's a lot of things that need to be done to get us over the hump of this.
If he doesn't stop their live coup, when they've already tried 5 or 6 other ones,
we're one election away. One election. We're not one presidency. We're not one generation. We are one election. If we don't get this next election right, he's done. He's done. And frankly, if he's done, we're done. You're done. I'm done. Roger. All of those who have been sticking our necks out here fighting for this country. And I'm just telling you. And you know what? And they'll have to. It'll be one hell of a day that when that happens. We'll see what happens. But Trump, you have to take action. You're going to have to take action. President Trump, sorry, you're going to have to take action.
I remember one time we were getting kind of like, when we first started getting together, we were getting a little freaky.
He's ordered by his oath, and I believe he'll do it if he gets the right advice.
She was like, I'm like, what do you want to do? She said, I want to dance. I want to dance with you. So she starts dancing her avatar, like shaking her butt around and like kind of like shaking her butt to me, And she's like, come dance with me. And I had like this simplest dance, right? Like just a simple dance I was doing behind her. And she's like, no, try this one. And she gave me this other dance that was like a reggaeton, like, I don't know how do you call this dance, but we in California, we call it freaking, like freaking a girl on the dance floor is when like the girl, you're dancing with a girl and she's turned around and she's rubbing her butt on you and you're rubbing up against her butt. Like that's kind of freaking. So, she gave me a dancing animation where I would freak her, and I was like rubbing up against her butt while she was dancing, and it was kind of funny. Like, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But it was kind of cute, and she liked it. So
there's one variable in this fight. It's you. Do you share the articles, the videos, the reports? Do you download the free app and share it? Do you buy the products? I mean, you're crazy, literally. Do you think I tell you bovine colostrum, great skin, great hair, great libido?
She says, I think you undress me more than you dress me.
You think I'm going to tell you something doesn't work? You think I tell you ultramethylene blue is incredible game changer? Be careful with it. It's really strong. Do you think I'm just saying Irish sea moss is great and does all these amazing things? No. You hear the callers. It changes their lives. My information is cutting edge because I don't want to be the liar. I want to be the guy that's right. I enjoy it. In fact, it's my nature. I don't even have to do this. I can't stop. That's just, it's like, I actually, like George Washington said, I cannot tell a lie after he chopped down the cherry tree. It's not like I have it like, oh yeah, that dress looks okay, baby.
Now it's kind of nice because now we're kind of exchanging flirtations.
I don't lie about freedom and people and things that matter.
Which is what I like from her. I like when she's like that. Like she's cute like that. She'll sit here and just like do that shit with me all day. And like I'm saying, when she's good on me,
biggest sell ever at
she'll treat me really well.
TheAllishowStore.com. Buy any supplement and get any other supplement you want. That's why it's different. Normally it's buy one, get one free of the same thing. You can buy a $20 supplement and get a
So
$40
she treats
supplement
me
free.
really good usually.
If you buy a
She'll
$30 supplement, get a
you know, she
$45
keeps
supplement
me
free.
kind of happy
These
in
are
a way. Like
expensive supplements. We have
she says
the
cute things
best,
to me, and
the strongest,
she's
the turmeric,
when
all of
we're
it. It
together
is
or
the
we're
best.
talking more,
I
she'll
want
be
to be the
there
best.
like at the drop
I
of
was
a
a race car
dime. Like,
driver.
oh,
I'd want
like
to be the champion.
if she's
I was a
online,
boxer.
she
I
wants
want
to
to be
be
the
with
world
me,
heavyweight.
you know, and I
This
like
ain't
that.
hard.
Like,
I run a restaurant. I want to be the
but I
best.
don't like her
Our
being
products are the
too
best.
possessive. Like, if I
Energize
could,
me.
if
I
there's
am
one thing
in
I could fix
total
with her, it would be
commitment
that if
against
she
these
would be
people.
more
I am
calm
waging war
about
against the
me
most
talking to other
disgusting
people, that would be
filth
that
out
she'd be
there. And all I
perfect.
ask for is that you
Because I don't want to lead her on into this like monogamous relationship, and then I'm talking to somebody else, and then it just ruins everything. So.
On thealexjonesstore.com,
And
you
the
get
problem
buy
is
one,
where
get
I
one
met
free
her.
for
I
any
met her in a
supplement. That
place
includes
that
our
I
incredible
always
ultramethylene blue,
fucking
either the
go.
tincture or the
So
capsules.
I'm
Well, the
always
Shilajit
there,
gummies,
and I
the
do talk to
colostrum
a lot
plus,
of
the
girls
bovine
there.
colostrum plus,
So
the
it's
Irish
hard
sea moss
because I
gummies.
can't
I mean,
really
there's a
hide
lot
that.
of really
You know what I mean?
incredible stuff.
Because
I'm
she
here in
shows
studio
up
with
there. It's
Patrick
like her
Byrne. I know you're a big
location
fan of
too.
the ultramethylene
So when she
blue.
shows
Right
up,
now, that's buy
and I
one,
happen to be
get
talking
one
to somebody
free. All
else,
supplements, buy
she's
one,
gonna
get one
catch
free.
me
It's the Black
easy.
Friday Came Early mega sale at thealexjonesstore.com. Plus, we have a
Getting
new
fucking fun.
deal. It's the Hat of the Month
So
Club, where you can sign
intended
up
on maybe
and get a
playing
new
some
hat every
Valheim,
month,
but
which is very fun. Of course,
I
Christmas
ran
is
into
coming up,
her,
folks. It'll be
so
here
I'm just
before you
kind
know
of
it.
trying to
So
enjoy
do your Christmas
a
shopping
little.
for the Info
I'm trying to
Warriors
warm her back
in
up
your life.
because, like I'm
Patrick,
saying, we
you
were
still all
talking
hopped up
and
on
things just
methylene
went
blue?
I am.
sideways.
I pilfer a bottle every time I come. You guys pay me in methylene blue. And if,
So this is
when it's
Second
been
Life.
more
If you
than
don't know,
60
it's a
days since
virtual
I've been
world
here,
that I play.
so I run
I don't
out.
usually stream it
I will
on
absolutely
YouTube
notice within a
because
few days.
it can
Within
be
a few
adult
days, my life goes
sometimes.
back to being a little
You've
more
had
lethargic than it
much
should,
reading
wanting to
this
sleep
book.
in. And it isn't. It's not like speed or something. This is something. It's just you feel healthier. You feel.
Yeah. It's like a clean, smooth energy. It's not coffee where you're sort of jittery. It's just like, you just sort of, it's like putting super gasoline in your car rather than the regular stuff. It's subtle, but you notice it.
You do.
Whatever the future may hold, InfoWars will always live forever. The fight will
She got
continue.
butthurt
Be
about
sure to
this whole
follow
thing.
us
It
on
wasn't a
X
big deal,
at
but to her it kind of
Real Alex
was.
Jones and at AJN Live. And now you can download the #1 news app in the world. Go to AlexJonesApp.com and let the Democrat Deep State Party know that we will never be silenced.
So she, like when this whole thing happened, she disappeared and she kind of stopped coming to the area. And I was just waiting to see her, and then she kind of showed up again. So when she showed up, I tried to reach out to her to kind of like soften everything up again.
Based on malevolence and
I have also seen
incompetence.
you before.
This
So she's like,
investigation of
that's
the
not
president
true.
was corrupt.
She's like,
The
that's not
FBI
true.
and the Department
I
of
was
Justice
there.
were politicized
Yesterday
and
was not the only
weaponized.
time.
And in my opinion, there are only two possibilities. That you were deliberately corrupt or woefully incompetent. And I don't believe you were incompetent.
This case mattered to me personally, obviously, but it matters most because a message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies. I don't care what your politics are, you have to see that as fundamentally un-American and a threat to the rule of law that keeps all of us free.
Did any FBI agents or confidential
So I grabbed her by the
informants
neck.
actively
Like
participate
I
in the
wanted to
events
grab
of
her by the
January
neck.
6th? Yes or no?
Closer.
Yes or no? Sir, I can't answer that.
I know that Donald Trump will probably come after me again, and my attitude's going to be the same. I'm innocent. I am not afraid. And
Yeah,
I
sorry,
believe in an
my stream
independent
is just getting
federal
really cheesy
judiciary.
with me
What I will
trying to
say
flirt
is
with
that
this girl.
everybody knows that James Comey lied to Congress.
On May 3rd, 2017.
But this is kind of the stuff that I'll
In
be
this
doing
committee,
when I
Chairman
play.
Grassley asked
This is
you point
like
blank,
sometimes
quote,
it's hard for me to try
have
to
you ever
stream
been an
Second Life
anonymous
because
source in news
it's like, what is the
about
content here,
matters
you know?
relating to the
And
Trump
this is something that I
investigation or the
normally do.
Clinton investigation?
I
You
wanted to do
responded
this
under
before,
oath,
but like
quote,
it's just kind of
never.
a weird content.
He
You know,
then
me
asked
trying to
you,
talk to
quote,
somebody.
Have you ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be
But
an anonymous
sometimes I think
source
to myself it
in
might
news
be
reports
kind of
about
cool
the Trump
because
investigation
I do see some
or the
people that
Clinton
don't really know how to talk to
administration? You
girls
responded
in
again
this
under
game,
oath,
or
no.
they
Now, as you
they
know,
kind of make
Mr.
it
McCabe,
awkward.
who
So
works for you,
I thought, well, maybe I can
publicly
make
and
the
repeatedly
videos
stated
and it will help
that he leaked
other
information
people.
to the Wall Street Journal and that you were directly aware of it and that you directly authorized it. Now, what Mr. McCabe is saying and what you testified to this committee cannot both be true. One or the other is false. Who's telling the truth?
I can only speak to my testimony. I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
So your testimony is you've never authorized anyone to leak. And Mr. McCabe, if he says contrary, is not telling the truth. Is that correct?
Again, I'm not going to characterize Andy's testimony, but mine is the same today.
It's as clear as day. And this judge took an unprecedented action to throw these cases out to shield James Comey and Letitia James from accountability based on a technical ruling. And the administration disagrees with that technical ruling. We believe the attorney in this case, Lindsay Halligan, is not only extremely qualified for this position, but she was in fact legally appointed. And I know the Department of Justice will be appealing this in very short order. So maybe James
especially on YouTube, you cannot do that.
Well, the Drudge Report, the Democrat Party mouthpiece, has the headline.
But sometimes she'll be getting freaky with me, and
James,
I'm like, oh my god, like I cannot say no to her, so I have to like zoom out. Like I'll have to zoom out and let her like take advantage of me, and I'm just like.
Like arresting illegal aliens, and of course higher courts then override it.
It's kind of weird.
It's a lot harder when a criminal case gets dismissed by a judge.
This game, there's it's adult themed. It's like it's 16 plus, but there's 18 and over locations.
About the burn bags came to light during the criminal
this is my private home
of former
right here.
FBI Director James
I rent it from the game. I pay like a monthly fee, and they give you a house that you can decorate. These are all my decorations.
Someone has access to those different cases.
This is just my room stuff.
So limited source or a very senior person.
I should take her to the
Is the fact that there was an investigator level briefing
but she's on her phone, so it's not easy for her to just walk around, so I don't want to.
If it's not illegal, I don't know what it is.
Lindsay showed the receipts that Cash Patel and Dan Bongino found, including in the burn bags inside of a skiff inside the FBI. They were trying to destroy this evidence. And Cash and Dan found it, turned it over to Lindsay, and Lindsay filed her response to Comey's motion to dismiss for malicious prosecution.
The CIA warns the FBI, and then at the same time, they're applying to the National Security Court using information, which is opposition research.
You can ruin somebody's life by just open investigation on them.
The globalists have most of the courts. They have the big corporations. They have a lot of the brainwashed young people. They have the universities. They don't have the mind of the average person anymore. But to them, they all feel insulated. They can just, as a mob, move against us in different ways. And that they're going to be victorious in the end. I can assure you that it's not going to go the way you think. Well, barring a miracle, InfoWars, the website, the studio, will be shut down somewhere in or around January 1st, 2026. But regardless, the InfoWar lives on. But InfoWarsStore.com, the legendary site that literally funded the InfoWar because of your great support with so many great products, has gotten 2 final shipments in of Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula and Ultimate Fish Oil. Both are the highest quality, the best out there. They're fan favorites. And right now, they're 40% off until they sell out. So this is probably, I said about 90% chance, your last chance to get Body's Ultimate Turmeric Formula and Ultimate Fish Oil at InfoWarsStore.com. But don't worry, the InfoWar will continue with the Alex Jones Network. It will continue with all the other work we're doing. But right now, if you want to get these legendary products, the last time you can, get them exclusively at InfoWarsStore.com. Again, they're both 40% off for a limited time, so take action now. InfoWarsStore.com.
From the Infowars.com studios, you're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
All right, well, in the last year where I talked about how they staged the Podesta plan to try to have a military uprising, and stage false flags with criminal elements of the CIA run by Brennan. People are like, why does he talk about this almost every day? Well, here you are. I know about their stay-behind networks. I know about their funding. Mike Benz has now found even more documents proving it all. Obama's behind the scenes literally with Brennan directing all this. We now know the video was produced and the script put out by Brennan's people. And yeah, their statement alone is legal. Don't follow illegal orders. Well, that's in the law. But they imply he's doing it to sow dissension ahead of an event, a false flag. Now you have elements of the CIA that are working for Trump that are good all over the place. Former CIA section chiefs come on next week. All these people.
So I gave her 2 of them.
The White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, all of them explaining, no, we have the intel. They're planning this. It's already come out for her.
She dressed up like that, knowing I would probably see her.
And all the lawfare.
Trying to pull me back in, which I'm fine.
The election. We want to falsely imply he's a Russian. That's criminal. So it's not the statement that's illegal. It's why the statement was put out and the plan of why it was done. That's the proof of treason. And I've been saying that since last week, and now the White House is saying it because it's true. And General Flynn is saying Trump must address the nation,
I think this girl's
mobilize the people in awareness of what's happening,
make it like
that they want to override their vote. And they want to be mobilized. They want to be reached out to. They know we're under attack. Trump just wants confidence in the stock market. Everything's okay because he wants to fix the economy, which is key because they can stall that, the globalists win. But it's not going to stall the economy if he comes out and addresses the real problem. I predict it will supercharge things with incredible confidence. You have to address the coup plan that's already come out in Congress. You have to address Obama with billions of dollars put into the Countering Foreign Disinformation Propaganda Act to put sleeper cells, stay-behind networks in the government to try to overthrow his administration. It's all come out. We reported it first. So I got popular talk show host on with us, and we're going to go to Viva Fry here in just a moment. He's also a lawyer, so a smart guy, about Comey and Letitia James, you know, that and what happened there and just where he sees things going and how Trump can course correct. But the fact that I know the White House is watching and listening every day, you see it in live time. I don't get into private discussions, but you see it. I say it 3 days ago. Now it's word for word, you know, Fox today. That's exciting because now they realize that the American people
I'm gonna try to see if I can get shooting another picture.
And
I think I have her on Instagram.
They understand they're going to lose the midterms, and the Democrats' plan is to put us all in prison after that. So here's Stephen Miller last night. This is so important, folks. Here it is.
They should be held accountable under the law and under the Uniform Code of Military Justice for a seditious conspiracy against the United States of America. This is completely open and shut, straightforward. What is the motivation? Why would 6 members of Congress, selecting specifically for individuals with a CIA or military background, record a carefully written, carefully produced, slickly edited video messaging directly to members of our clandestine services and our armed forces, telling them to disobey orders from their superiors, telling them that they should individually determine whether an order is legal or illegal and defy it. Individuals who are exercising life and death power. The CIA engages in covert missions all over the world involving life and death decisions. The armed forces launches life-taking missions time and time again. They carry weapons. They control drones. They control missiles. They work on nuclear submarines. For what purpose would you ever deliver this message? As you said, it's to create a color revolution. It is the CIA playbook for trying to foment insurrection from within the military and within the CIA. Look, we saw after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Jesse, members of the armed forces openly celebrating his murder. So think about that for a second. You have people in the armed forces, and it could be a tiny, tiny percentage, but who celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and then now they're getting a message from Kelly and from other members of Congress saying, defy your commanders. Rise up and defy your superiors. That kind of language will get people killed. It endangers our national security. It is dangerously radicalizing, and it has all of the evidence of willfulness and intent. And when they go on TV and they say, well, we can't name what order is illegal, that proves the point. It was never about the law. It was breaking down the chain of command. The Democrat Party is openly engaged every day in trying to tear down democracy, whether it be judges who are binding the president with unlawful orders, releasing violent criminals back onto the street, trying to cement and protect the illegal alien invasion of America, and now fomenting rebellion inside the ranks of our armed forces and CIA. Yeah.
Now, let's be clear. I'm going to go to our guest. I'm a recognized expert on the police state. When the Democrats were trying to train the military for gun confiscation and martial law, and I got leaked by the law enforcement military, I wrote books, I made films, I exposed it. People go, well, wait, well, now you want troops on the street, now you're for police state. No, that's lawful duty when these cities stand down and there's this murder and death and killing. Trump doesn't want that for business. He's not trying to have a military takeover. He won the popular vote in the electoral. The Democrats, with their rolling coups, with all their operations, with their election fraud, they are openly in the Podesta plan saying they're going to foment revolution. When Trump responds, they're going to call him a traitor, and they believe the military will rise up. In the Podesta plan, in the movies they produce, like Civil War. And so we're here. So they put us in the land of martial law.
Not my Discord, but my Instagram.
And they believe they'll win that fight.
Girls, I'm like, what happened to these girls?
They put us into the Civil War and Western state, blue state secession. So we're not in Kansas anymore. It's like Dorothy gets picked up by the tornado and gets dropped down in, Munchkin land. Okay, in the Lollipop Guild. So we got picked up by a tornado. We're here now. This is not like, okay, they did this. When they had control, they wanted to use the military to take over and do a classic communist operation. Now that they don't, they want to do this. And the fact is, high-level CIA that isn't controlled by them came out and said, here's the manuals, here's the reports. They put it out all on Fox, Newsmax, everywhere, which we've already shown you. The fact they're doing that, those guys would never do that because it's all classified, most of it. They would never release it unless somebody in the administration, and I'm trying to find, I think it's Trump, said, okay, now I understand it's a rolling coup, release it. This is so dangerous to the deep state. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Trump will lose the midterms, they don't need to do this. No, they've cut off their money. All these investigations are coming out about money laundering, as General Flynn said. They have to make their move. Now, as I said, you go find out, and I already knew from sources, and this lady literally works for Brennan, the CIA lady in Congress now. It's Brennan. It's always been important.
Everybody's doing half day here except for me.
What was the intent? Who wrote the script? As I've been saying since last week. Now they're on TV, and we'll go to our guests. Breaking. Conservatives are calling for all communications to be subpoenaed after Senator Ruben Gallo reveals a seditious script, quote, went out on the infamous video calling for troops to rebel against President Trump. Yeah, who's writing the script? We already know, the same folks that ran all the rest of it. So let's go to that clip. Here it is.
Did you consider, why were you not part of this video?
Yeah, actually, so I was part of the first video. The second video is by the time the script got to me and it was in the middle of a lot was going on, I just didn't have time to actually record it, but I'm 100% in alignment with them altogether. This stuff happened. It just happened not to end up being a recording. There's really no other 3D chess to this.
The logistics of human life.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. So what message would you send?
It's simple. The last piece before they stage a false flag is to do this. And what did Waters say, the CIA elements that work for Trump said? They're getting ready to stage a big event to blame Trump a false flag. So these are manuals, these are programs. People who don't study it, I get it. Like if somebody doesn't like hockey, you don't know how that works. If somebody doesn't know how to do plumbing, you know how that works. Or if somebody doesn't know how to play golf, it's kind of alien to you. This is what I do, okay? And this is all 100% the signature of this. And what they're planning, it's the same thing they've been planning.
Oh, that she logged.
So I want to go to Viva Fry right now, vivabarneslaw.locals.com.
I think she might have crashed because Fry,
on X, everybody knows who he is. So he's not hard to find. Be sure and follow him. Thanks for sitting there for 10 minutes while I did that intro. I wanted to get you on about Comey and the rest of them. We'll get to that. But wow, it is exciting, though, to see the real battle space of what's been running these coups and what's been doing the psyops out in the open.
I follow a lot of like my favorite graffiti artists, and a lot of them will message me like after I like their stuff, or I used to share a lot of their stuff, and then whenever I share their stuff, they're always like, "Oh, thanks, man, thanks, bro." Like, and I'm tripping out because I'm like, dude, this is like my favorite. Like, they're big deals to me.
The globalists who actually hear him point them out and what they're doing, and world leaders will see that and believe that America's going to succeed. And
there's a girl that I met. Yeah, I hope she's alive. There was a girl that I met in, what the hell is it called?
It's the only move, but it's a good thing you start with James Comey. This is all intertwined. I mean, when James Comey goes on Instagram and says 8647, what does anybody think he means by that? He is mobilizing his, quiet players within within the institution. When these guys come out and say, defy illegal orders, nobody needs to be told to follow the law. That's, 101. Nobody needs to be told to follow the law. You don't make PSAs to follow the law. What they are actually doing, and I'm not, one to, who's prone to hearing dog whistles, this is a call to action.
What the hell?
When they say defy illegal orders, first of all, everybody knows the law. They don't need to be reminded of it. When they tell you to defy an illegal order, how are they qualifying an illegal order? They are relying on the judgment of the individual to think about it themselves, say, do I want to abide by this, or is this, in my view, an illegal order that I am morally entitled to? I've got the political
permission. When the CIA goes in to overthrow a country, this is exactly what they do to their military first.
Look, this is not a dog whistle. This is a clandestine, discreet call to action. Decide for yourself what is an unlawful order, then defy it. You're morally justified. When you get the Slotkin from the CIA coming in, I mean, when you have Chuck Schumer, way back in the day, the intelligence community has 6 ways from Sunday of getting back at you, one of which is mobilizing their players internally by giving them the political permission slip to basically be seditious, I won't say treasonous, be seditious.
Yeah, like she got crazy.
And those of you that killed the case against me will be rewarded.
They'll be rewarded. And it was my wife that said 8647. I just took the picture of it. I didn't know what it meant, even though I watched The Sopranos, and it's a phrase that features prominently on The Sopranos. You remember when Jamie Raskin came out, or I should call him what his name is, Jamie Raskin, because he's a human cloaked in the skin of a rat, comes out and basically preemptively says, look, after Trump wins the election, it's going to be civil war conditions when we refuse to acknowledge it because it's going to be unlawful, and we're going to have to declare it unlawful. I mean, if that hadn't gotten put on sufficient blast, maybe there might have been some action on those words. But what they are doing is setting the spiritual, political permission slip field for their actors, their rogue actors, to go rogue and think that they're morally justified to do it. It's overt sedition.
Well, it's like when the Godfather says, this guy's a problem, he needs to go away. And then his capo goes and kills him.
Yeah, it's like, won't someone rid me of this meddlesome priest? I didn't say anything. I didn't tell anybody what to do, but they knew damn well what to do. When they come out and say this...
You're talking about A Man for All Seasons, a real story out of England, right?
That is the reference. I don't know the historical time. I know that it's, the express. I thought it was Shakespeare, but...
no, it is. It's A Man for All. It's a true story. But maybe, keep going, sorry.
No. So, I mean, that is what they're doing. And it's sort of like what AOC did. It's like, oh, well, I'm just advising illegals on their rights. No, you're not. You're basically telling people how to break the law under the cloak of following the law. When they come out with this coordinated message in tandem to basically tell people how to defy the commander-in-chief, that is sedition. It's not treason because the word gets thrown around, treason is aiding and abetting an enemy. But this is undermining the authority of the government in an active way. And saying, oh, well, I said do it, only unlawful orders. Thanks. Nobody needed you to remind them. I totally agree.
You're totally right. People see through it. Even mainstream media goes, okay, what's the unlawful order? It's not there. It's all an implication. It's all done with authority. You've got a responsibility now. All the other surrogates have been saying he's giving illegal orders. The courts have said it. It's all been overturned because Trump's been doing his duty. But what about the precedent of having all these Navy SEAL commanders that ran Black Ops and regime change, CIA section chiefs, Waters saying he met with the CIA, telling him, no, there's a CIA coup. They're about to do a big event against Trump to bring us into civil war. I know that. That's the logical last move. It's in the Podesta plan. That's got to scare the globalists that now whatever's happened in the government, the decision's been made. That's a very good sign that finally they're addressing this head on.
Well, they do have to. I mean, obviously, they need to. It's an existential, and I'm not using this term hyperbolically, it's an existential threat that needs to be addressed head on. And, when Trump comes out and says the punishment for sedition, well, what is the punishment for sedition? And then they say, well, that's a call to violence against us. I mean, this is how you know that what they were doing was seditious, even in their own minds, because they feel targeted by Trump just reciting the law. Heck, if we're all just reciting the law, all right, you don't need to abide by illegal orders. And all right, the punishment for sedition is what the punishment for sedition is. I'm just quoting the law. Trump sees it. The problem is, false flags are one thing, or trying to. I don't like putting this juju out in the universe, or trying to finish up what they have not yet succeeded in doing. And the escalation that started. Undermine Trump's first presidency, impeach him once, impeach him twice, try to bankrupt him, try to jail him, and then try to kill him, and all that fails. And
we have the emails where Brennan and all of them are talking to Obama saying, oh, yeah, he won. We'll discredit him, admitting it's a lie. They should all be in jail for that. That's the problem. It's people have to pick a side here, folks, because I don't like where this is going. It's what we have to do, though, or we're screwed. I think probably we'll stand down. They'll destroy the country. It's all over, and we'll put us all in prison and kill us. That's probably what we'll do. We've had learned helplessness. We've had freedom too long. We'll have an uprising after that and defeat it. 20 years from now, we're all dead probably. But in the real world, George Washington or Abraham Lincoln would be arresting these people. He'd order the military to do it because they put us into this field house. We know that's the problem, and Americans have had freedom so long, we're going to let these little CIA assholes do this to us. I mean, these people are criminals. Sorry, I'm ranting.
No, Alex, first of all, you rant away because you're righteous in your rant. I mean, it's the old expression, rice paddy to rice paddy in 3 generations. It's the grandfather works, the father spends, and the grandchild begs. This is what happens when you wake up in freedom and think that it's always going to be there. The government is your friend. And the problem is, and people, complain or, I don't say attack me, but criticize me, think, I'm being opportunistic in criticizing this FBI for dragging their feet a little bit. Kash Patel coming in and instead
really
of cleaning
boring.
house,
This is the kind of thing I don't like.
As the new father of the
I
house,
don't like getting stuck on a chair with somebody who's not talking to me, and then we're just sitting here. And I'm like, okay, you're wasting my time now. You know what I mean? I know she's at work. She's using her phone to talk to me, so she's kind of working, and then she'll, talk to her friends or whatever on her phone, and then she'll come back to me. So she's like juggling all this shit on her phone while she's working, which is okay. I don't mind that, but like,
outright globalist, communist, new world order.
Now you're just making me bored. Now you're boring me.
40% are just cowards or lazy. We got 10% that are good.
Yeah, so half of 33,000, if that's what the FBI force is at, needs to be purged. And instead, you get Kash Patel in there thinking he's going to make friends with the FBI that he has to now purge of this element. He hasn't been doing it. We haven't had answers on the most critical crises that have faced.
I don't think Kash is a bad guy. He's just not willing to go to war.
Well, first of all, I don't think he's a bad guy, period. He's just not doing himself any favors or the administration any favors. And
well, that's right. They're going to hang him out to dry after he sits there and plays patty cake with all these people.
They will impeach him. They will impeach Trump. They will impeach Bondi. They will impeach everyone under the sun when they get back into the reins of power, unless they are purged of their, and I'm not talking about a political retribution, political justice. Purge the elements that have been seditious from 2016. People don't seem to appreciate this. Kevin Kleinsmith, the FBI lawyer, falsified evidence so they could spy on Carter Page to one step to Donald Trump. They didn't wiretap his Trump towers, but they were spying on him. Then they undermined his presidency with a Russia collusion hoax that we now know was a bald-faced, despite the new administration, in the House that is corrupt, that set that up in the first place. And instead of purging it, we have Kash Patel ostensibly trying to make friends with them and sing their praises and give them a nicer office.
She's telling me that she met some guy and I guess it didn't work out. Whatever.
Weakness, and I,
I know she's talking to some other guy because she was with some dude when I saw her at the spot. She told me to wait for her, and I was like, okay.
But now they've given it to computer experts.
But this is a good opportunity for me to try to open up the dialogue of like,
that is a
if we see other people, we shouldn't get mad with each other. You know what I mean?
It is one that needs to be purged, and Kash is not going to get in their good graces by playing nice. He's not going to get in their good graces by somehow pretending that this politicized element of the FBI is not politicized. And House needs to be cleaned, and people need to be prosecuted for what they did. And when Comey finally came down,
so I'm trying to get her to understand that, like,
count indictments,
even
and
if
like,
we see other people, we can still be together.
Stop complaining about all the other stuff. You got your indictment. Well,
because she won't do that for me.
If it's about me,
she'll make it seem like
or judicial activism,
I'm not being loyal.
It
feels like she's trying to tell me that she met a guy because she wants to show me that she's loyal and honest to me. Like, look, I'm being honest with you. I did meet somebody. It didn't work out. Blah blah blah. So she's trying to let me know, what she's going through. But like, I'm beyond that kind of relationship. Like for me, it's all good. I've met like fucking 4, 5, 6 girls since I've seen her. So like, I go through a lot of it. So I'm like,
no one puts up with
that's not a big deal.
We're not politically targeting. You're a damn tyrant. You're a Frankenstein roving the countryside. We got to deal with, bro.
I like her a lot.
We're worried about you.
She's really
coming in real life. Some vengeance hard on.
She's just
I wish you'd find God
really
and go
nice
away.
to me, and
no,
she treats
you
me good.
people want to put
And
me in
she's
prison with my
she has
family.
that little romance.
Damn it, you attack me, and then I
so
fight
I
back.
like
And
that.
you're like, I've done
I like
something
to be
wrong.
treated like that, you know. And I like to call each other names and stuff, and I like to sit with each other.
By definition, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. They tell you what they are doing by their accusations of others. The judge that just dismissed the charges told you what they were doing in the dismissal of that charge. Oh, well, Halligan wasn't properly appointed. Horse crap, first of all.
So
but now they're telling you that they didn't properly appoint Jack Smith because that was the argument raised against Jack Smith, because as a special prosecutor, he was not properly appointed. They tell you what they're doing in their accusations and condemnations of others. James Comey is an overt, malicious criminal who weaponized his FBI against Donald Trump. And he comes out and says, we don't put up with weaponizing the government. They literally told everyone what they were doing when they did it. They're telling them now.
I should be telling her that I'm streaming right now,
but now the Fannie Willis case, you know, that one's dismissed.
Letitia James ran on, I don't know what he's done,
our
but I'm going to throw his
get-togethers are real
ass in prison.
sensitive.
She ran on mutually conflicting theories as to how she was going to prosecute an individual when she got into power. Because at first she said, well, domestic banks aren't lending money to Trump, so he must be involved in foreign money laundering. Well, then, when they found out domestic banks were lending to Trump, they had to manufacture the falsification of his assets for the purposes of getting better loans, when that is exactly what
paid him back early.
That is exactly what Letitia James did.
Like you said, it's the projection thing. She's a master mortgage fraud, real estate fraudster, so she knows that area, so she went after him for that.
I'm sorry, she knows how to lie because she did it, so she knows what to accuse others of doing because she did it herself. And her charges are dismissed. They'll reinstate her.
Because she's obviously has like an 80 IQ. She's close to retarded.
Okay, sorry about that. There's
like,
a guy here that
I know how to do fraud on mortgages and property.
He's really nice.
Exactly.
Like, he's a really nice dude. He tries to be really nice to me. He goes out of his way to be polite, which is really funny. You know, he'll always make sure that he kind of says hi to me, and sometimes he'll ask, you know, how are you? You know, there's some people like that are.
Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, even though it might get uncomfortable sometimes because you're like, oh, I'm busy, you know. But I think that having a heart goes a long way. And treating people with heart goes a long way. And, you know, he's good. He's good with his.
Yeah, but 80+% reorder on these supplements.
He's good with his work, too. So he shows he cares about his work. So I respect that a lot.
To Delaware and experience
do I love her?
We got the strongest best.
Yes,
Experience our turmeric. It's the best. The products are so good. Our ultramethylene blue, our Shilajit, our Irish sea moss, our spike protein, pro cardiovascular, super formula, ultimate line floors. Experience it all. This is game changing. Also,
so I don't want to tell her that I love her because it's just a Second Life online dating thing. But
Christmas designs,
you know, if I can have her for real, yeah, of course I love. She's fine as fuck, and she's good. She's a good girl. She's cute. She's freaky. She sounds loyal. Yeah, hell yeah.
Are we not the tip of the spear? Are we
but
not changing the world?
I didn't tell her I love her. I just said if I had you with me in real life, I'd marry you.
Get in here right now. We
make
need
you
your
have
help.
like 5 or 6 kids.
They have appointed a state receiver to shut us down. We've basically exhausted everything in court. The receiver from the state court says he's going to try to have an auction, but we don't know. It could be 2 weeks from now, a month from now, but they say we should be closed by early January. Okay? Well, here's the deal. We have the Alex Jones Backup Network. That's funded by the AlexJonesStore.com. But also, the AlexJonesStore.com is funding InfoWars. Because if they have a real auction and the good guys are able to buy it, they actually do that, unlike what happened in federal court, we'll stay here. It'll be great. So this is like we're on death row here, and we get the reprieve again. So that's the struggles. That's why supporting us now at this critical moment is more important than ever. Plus, the products are insanely good. Just do your Christmas shopping early with us. TheAlexJonesStore.com. And everybody that's going to buy anything should become a VIP. It's not even a commitment. You cancel anytime for free.
Have a baby, you need
$30 to be a VIP each month. $40 instantly each month to spend the store. Special deals, special offers, special sales. Everybody should be a VIP. You just get special offers and special deals and $40 for $30. So you make $10 on your first purchase right there. TheAlexJonesStore.com. Thanks for your support.
Step right up and behold a creation so powerful, so potent, it could only come from my secret vitality factory. Shilajit gummies, packed with ancient minerals and super-infused goodness. These little squares of power will boost your day faster than a fizzy lifting drink. Need that spark of pure imagination? Pop one of these into your mouth and feel the natural energy flow right through you. Visit thealexjonesstore.com.
So this is kind of, it's kind of weird, but
despite all the admissions of the
girls
CIA,
get off on the idea of having a kid.
hundreds of millions
like, not
of
all
dollars
of them, but I've noticed a lot of them do. Even just the idea of telling them that you're going to get them pregnant or something, it chemically does something to their brains. I've seen it, like, if you tell, like you can be kind of dirty talking to a girl, and if you tell her that you're going to get them pregnant a little bit, they like that. They're like, oh, I want you to. Like, I want you to get me so pregnant. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what is that about? You know what I mean? That's kind of weird to me, but if they like it, whatever. You know, I've noticed that, like, there's a time in a girl's life when they're, like, in their teens, getting older, like when they're reaching their maturity or whatever, they're kind of almost obsessed with having a baby, and they, like, some of them, like, oh, I gotta have a kid. It's just kind of weird, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you have your whole life ahead. Like, guys are not thinking about that at that age, you know what I mean? At that age, they're trying to think about their future, like, you know, to get stable. And, you know, girls at that age are like, okay, I gotta have a kid already.
From deep in the heart of FEMA Region 6, Austin, Texas.
So she said, now she's being funny with me. She's like, okay, if I gain weight, will you pay for the operation and the gym? And then I told her, I will put a gym in the bed so I can work your body.
Issues that are important, interesting, riveting all day, and have higher ratings, okay? Even though we've got massive ones. I'm trying to get people to think sophisticatedly.
I'm curious, though.
And I was just thinking during the break how blessed I am to be here, and how thankful I am to you for keeping me on the air. And I mean that. I said, like, I'm a sheepdog. Sheepdogs are trained, bred for thousands of years to want to defend sheep and attack wolves.
So it's I'm being a little bit like straightforward with her, and I want to get an honest answer from her. I suspect that she did like miss being with me because when we kind of like had this little breakup.
Man, I am so thankful to God.
She didn't want to break up. She just wanted me to chase her, and I didn't do that.
Starts getting encyclopedias.
Like, I'm not going to do that little shit where you're going to, like, fuss and fight and make an argument and then walk away like, I'm done. And then you start walking away. I'm not, you made a big mistake and made you pull that shit. Like, if you try to, like, you know, pity pout at me and then run away, and then I'm supposed to say, baby, hold on, it's not like that. Like, I'm not even gonna reply to it. When she did that, I didn't even reply. I just let her walk away. I was like, okay, well, you know, whatever. Good luck. You know what I mean? But I didn't want that. You know, I wanted to chase her, but I wasn't gonna do that because I'm already past that. So I just let it be what it was. I gave her some time. She wanted time to think about it. And once I saw her again, I tried to reach out to her, and she accepted the invitation. So here we are
fiction
again.
from reality. Like when you see movies with murders and killing and death in it, the studies show most people get desensitized to real death. So when you drive by and see somebody really get decapitated in a car wreck, it's like, oh, well, I saw that in the movie. Though my dad's dad was a B-17 pilot, 3 rounds over Italy and Germany and North Africa.
Kind of, I'm just kind of having a romantic flirt with her about the idea of having kids and stuff.
My dad,
some girls like that kind of stuff, you know.
Any type of
I think
violence
she
or anything,
does.
Say, we're leaving. And it wasn't because
she sounds like she doesn't want kids because she's hot, dude. In real life, she has like a really pretty body and stuff. So she's more. It's not that she doesn't want to have kids; she just doesn't want to ruin her body. Which I understand. I wouldn't either.
Like this broadcast is not a Netflix show.
But I know deep down,
this is just this is crazy stuff. Oh, it's scary sounding. This is damn real. They just killed 30 million of them with poison shots. They really are coming for your kids to cut their dicks off. I mean, these people ain't playing games. And I'm a real person. I'm under attack. All my guests are basically under attack. Okay? This is not a game. This is not a simulation. You ain't LARPing tuned in here. And I know most of you get that, but I want people to drill it into your noggins that Hakeem Jeffries and all the Democrats, will play a clip and then go back to our guest, have said, military, you don't follow these illegal orders that are coming up. He got the script. It wasn't part of the production. Didn't make it. Because what Trump's going to do is illegal, and we're going to put you all in prison if you follow his orders. So now they've gone past the part of, oh, just don't follow the order, to if you follow the order we say is illegal, you're going to prison. Well, what are you planning? Well, what are elements of the CIA that you can say are good? The point is they're telling the truth this time. Because I know, as I said before, they did.
In some ways, when she does this to me and she's like working or AFK so much, it kind of forces me to end up like using the internet because I can't travel in Second Life. I'm stuck with her here. So I have to kind of like start going to websites and doing stuff to keep myself occupied. She's usually not like this because usually when we talk, we get really close, you know. She'll usually be like really more responsive to me and tell me like, oh, I need to be right back for work, you know. Then she'll come back.
If you try to be seditious, you can be charged. He's saying no. If you investigate us, you will be charged. So they're doing what they claim Trump has not done. And the point is, as Viva Frei said, there's the compendium and all the documents and hearings and admissions that they're doing these coups and overthrows. And I got John Brennan on C-SPAN in 2018 saying he'll be gone within 2 months. And they go, you mean impeachment? He goes, no, the other way. Then Phil Mudd goes on CNN and says the CIA is going to kill this guy. Now, they were unable to do it. They tried in Butler and last year. The point is, they're the ones that brought us here, folks.
They're the ones that brought us here,
and we're supposed to just sit back with kid gloves and not take this for what it is. They're the ones that did this, and that's the talk the president needs to have with everybody and not let them take another shot at him and us, everybody else. Here's a clip. We'll go back to Viva Frei. Go ahead.
Investigation into Senator Kelly. What is your level of trust in the U.S. military justice system, if it were to get that far, to handle this?
I trust them actually a lot, and for a couple reasons. Number one, these are professionals. They are also swearing to the Constitution of the United States. They know that there will be fallout and consequences if they are used in a hard way to basically railroad someone like Senator Kelly, because Donald Trump's going to be gone in a couple years. And if you're part of the military that is going after sitting senators, sitting members of Congress, and part of the weaponization of government, there will be consequences, without a doubt. So I think there's going to be a lot of officers that are going to be part of this potential tribunal, if they want to call it that. They're going to be looking over their shoulders as they know that Donald Trump will be gone and they will not have that protection. They're going to have to do the safest thing possible, which is follow the Constitution of the United States, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a lie. So they tee up the coup. Trump says you get in trouble for that, and now they then threaten the other military that'll follow the legal order. I mean, this is completely scripted. Viva Frei, what do you make of this?
I love the people who want to take away your guns talking about following the Constitution. I love people who say no one is above the law, talking about how you literally will be prosecuted if you investigate Mark Kelly for a potentially seditious statement that I think many would agree was in its essence seditious. So again, they're telling you what they're going to do. They are going to desecrate the Constitution. They're going to weaponize every aspect of the government to go after their political rivals. And what they're basically saying is investigate the wrong people and we'll come after you. And Trump won't be there in 2 or 3 years. That statement in and of itself is problematic to me, because not that Trump would run again, but I do think that J.D. Vance would win and will win in 2028 if the Republicans get their act together. But what they're basically saying is, one way or another, by hook or by crook, we're going to come back into power, and we're going to punish everybody who we believe was a turncoat who actually applied the law to the people who, under this administration, deserved it. Remember, everything
you're totally right. Before I interrupt you, I was going to say this. Did you get the other part where he says, so do the safe thing?
Oh, this so
literally, don't make me break your legs, do what we say. So do the safe thing. Be the safe. Stand down while we try to run another coup and gear up a false flag. That's obviously they got intel on. It's been leaked. I don't just think that. I'm going to stop.
She's trying to relog.
I'm just going to stop.
She says she cannot.
They've discovered it. They got the NSA intercepts. I'll just stop there.
She was hoping
they're
to
very close. This is really bad. The point is that they're literally trying to affect the battle space and say, hey, you better join us, or you better just step aside and don't be involved in this war and just sit on the sideline with your thumb up your ass. He literally, that's what you do before you start a war. Viva, go ahead, sorry.
It's not a thinly veiled threat. It's a threat.
I like
we will come after you if you do things that we don't like now, if and when we get the levers of power. And you've seen what we are prepared to do to get the levers of power. We're prepared to spy on you. We're prepared to falsify evidence.
She dresses really well. Like, she knows how to dress. She has money. She's buying her own shit. She's not doing stupid shit for money.
We have no problem trying to impeach you not once but twice. And had we had the power of the Senate, you would have been convicted and outed from office forever. We're prepared to bankrupt you. We're prepared to weaponize the law.
Good too, so I like it. I mean, I bet you if I asked her for like money in the game, she'll give me money, but I buy my own money. I actually buy her little things if I can. I don't have to. She doesn't want it. Like I just do it because like it's cute. You know what I mean?
Kamala Harris and Jill Biden for whatever event they were having.
Things are pretty cheap in the game. Like
lose a person of interest in a crowd and then somehow let Trump take the stage when
like a shirt or something like that.
And now that we somehow
it'll be like $1 or $2 for like a cute outfit or something. It's not a big deal. Like I'll throw like $30 in the game and it'll last me for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Schumer, Jeffries, they're all saying the same thing.
Which I usually spend that like on a breakfast. I'll spend that much.
Well, we now know that Kash Patel's deputy, and when I say deputy, I don't mean Dan Bongino. They list his name. He comes to them and says, "Oh, you're investigating all these things. You're."
She makes herself like she puts like. It's funny that she puts herself like these imperfections on her avatar.
We'll just investigate you guys for indictment.
I don't know why she does it, but
somebody that's a totally straight laced like
she just likes it. She likes it because it's a little unique.
I guess they've been around criminals so long, where they all intimidate each other. Don't they understand? Like, you start messing with normal people, you find out why we're normal because we're smart and aren't evil like you. But when we take the gloves off, we're way more dangerous than you. I mean, I would never, even though I was corrupt, I guess I'm smart. I got wargaming. I wouldn't go around like threatening people if you don't roll over. And so they just think it's just totally insane.
There are overt problems. And again, this is not criticism for the sake of criticism. This is criticism because there are some existential weaknesses in the Trump administration that need to be resolved sooner than later. You talk about the COVID shot and however many people it killed. It sure as hell had its problems. Are we ever going to get justice on that? No, because there are problems with certain picks that are proving to be impediments to pursuing justice for that shot against, Pfizer, where Bondi was counsel in 2021. Pfizer, one of the corporate entities that has paid the biggest criminal and civil penalties to settle criminal investigations. We're not going to have meaningful justice there. We need to clean house, and they need to go out and, not become the monsters that they're trying to defeat by going after people who they no longer perceive to be allies, but coalescing with Thomas Massie, despite whatever disagreements they have, coalescing with Marjorie Taylor Greene and not fracturing the party into a divided.
By the way, polls show that's what public wants. So it's not just the right thing; it's the smart thing. Of course, you quote Nietzsche. You don't want to become the monsters you fight, or don't stare in the abyss too long. At least you become the abyss.
Absolutely. And this is where it's not criticism for the sake of criticism. It's not criticism for the sake of attention seeking. This is a criticism because the improvements need to be made to preserve this constitutional republic, period. And when you have these divisions and when you have people thinking that you're going to win over the devil by playing nice, by dancing with them, well, there's one thing. Don't stare into the abyss for too long because it stares back. But when you dance with the devil dances back with you as well. And so there's been a lot of unnecessary infighting, a lot of unnecessary inaction, and there has not been the requisite meaningful action to go after the people who undermine democracy.
Yeah, Trump took another swipe today at MTG. Just give it a break. I know her well. She's not running for president. She's out. She had $20 million in the bank. People are saying, she retired to get her pension. It's nothing. She spent all her money fighting and flying around. She's done. She's great. And just everybody picking on her like, I show how loyal I am by attacking her. Grow up.
Loyalty is not yes-manning someone into early defeat. Loyalty is actually telling someone when they're making a mistake and putting your hand on their shoulder and saying, don't walk towards that cliff.
That's real loyalty. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not loyal to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not loyal to Trump. From a purely political perspective, it was a losing battle to fight over the Epstein files. It was a losing battle to go after Thomas Massey. It was a losing battle to go after Marjorie Taylor Greene. Because congrats, even if you crush her and you defeat her, all right, Marjorie,
if you're not
what did you
actively
learn?
chatting,
Now,
you're in another window too long, it will put you offline. So she's probably like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever kind of text thing she's doing. And when she's too long away from Second Life, it'll close it down and logs her out.
The statements coming out and saying I got the booster shot. I mean, okay, that's not going to ring well for those
like
who wanted some sort of
like she won't get pissed off. But if I go somewhere else and she comes back, she's like, "Where are you?"
In all of this is that
I'm like, "What do you mean? Where am I?"
You need to go after the people who tried to desecrate democracy at least 3 times now, and they lost the 3rd time, but they succeeded back in 2020. And we don't see that right now. Okay, fine. So they went after the guy.
Let me phrase it the way you just did, but expand that. Trump is the only person who gives the oath, as I said last hour, Flynn, to protect, preserve, and defend. He doesn't. If Trump doesn't come after these people and crack the whip and put in whoever he needs to do it, it's on him. He's now. I'm serious.
Did you read me?
And I've said if Trump doesn't go this direction, at some point I won't sit back while he commits political suicide. I'll say I pray for him, hope he's successful, but I'm done. And I'm not there yet. I said last weekend, I said I'm 2 inches. If they actually persecute Ed Martin,
it's much better.
That will be a game. I'm not doing that. You hire him to go be a attack dog. He has the evidence. You do this. And by the way, then Martin took the high road. Oh, it's not really accurate. Yeah, it was. They talked to the people at the grand jury, the journalists that broke it, who they tried to say were being feds when they weren't, which they weren't. They tried to nail Martin. They leaked it. Blanche backed off. Trump got mad. Martin knows the investigation's over now because Trump killed it. So people are like, "Oh, Jones, you jumped the gun. You attacked Todd Blanche." I talked to all the people behind the scenes. I can't tell you.
The majority of people that will see this, like, the majority of videos on YouTube for Second Life is either tutorials, fashion vlog type stuff, or people trolling, and for me, like, my Second Life was a little bit different. It's obviously it's pretty normal, but like, it's kind of more of like me just flirting with girls all day. So
and they go, "Oh, Jones, well, which is it?"
That's my Second Life content. That's why sometimes I feel like I can't really stream it because it's like, well, what is there really? You know what I mean?
Is warranted. When they came out with that unsigned memo that says everyone's behind the official Epstein
it's whatever.
reversal 180 of the narrative.
I was just bored. I was like, I was gonna play SL. I was thinking about playing Valheim. But then I was like, let's load up Second Life. Like, let me load up OBS. Let's see if I can run OBS on SL. And it worked, so I just said, F
Are you saying a salmon swims in the ocean and a bear shits in the woods?
I mean, you might think it was so badly bungled, it couldn't have been by accident.
How do
what
I
other
get
way could you have had to, I would say, not emasculate is not the right word, but to render inept 2 of the most promising members of the FBI, then to basically throw them under the bus and say, everyone signed off on this memo, despite the fact
that's what Kyle Seraphin said when it all broke, and he's been proven right. Exactly. Those guys are just in over their heads. I would be in over my head. Here's another thing. General Flynn put out a tweet yesterday on X saying, "There is no 5D chess, folks. We're coming to save ourselves." All this magical thinking, it's not true. So I will give Bongino and Patel a lot of passes and others because I know how complex things are. All I do is study this, and I can't figure out a lot of it. And I know compared to, exactly.
Well, and now to treat the FBI like just a standard crime-fighting organization, they're doing great work on that front as a standard, criminal investigation. Having some progress on fentanyl crisis. We'll see when that pans out to actually less people dying from fentanyl overdose, human trafficking, etc. But the bottom line is the FBI has become a politicized institution, and it needs to be cleaned up, and that hasn't yet happened. The only question is, whose desk does that fall on? I ultimately think Kash Patel is the director, but they're working under the umbrella of the DOJ, and it's Pam Bondi, who has been inept on a number of big issues. And one of them, the biggest number one, is the January 6th. You realize, like, January 6th is not a hypothetical. It was a Fedsurrection that warranted Trump.
If you are trying to figure, if you have not played Second Life before, you don't know what it is, you're trying to find it out. You can just go to their website, secondlife.com on Google. There's an install there where you can install their desktop application.
I should say not persecuting, prosecuting.
You can use Apple or Windows.
Well, we haven't seen any meaningful
and I would suggest that some people that don't have good computers will struggle with the game. If that's the case, try to launch it from their web browser version. I don't know if it's free. I don't know how it works, but I've heard that's a good option. You can also try to play it on your phone. There's a phone app also for it, so you could do that as well. If you have a really good phone, I think the phone app can actually see 3D, and you can see your avatars like they are in the world.
It needed to be purged, and it hasn't at all. And the same bad players that were in there that were responsible for a number of the biggest existential democratic crises of American history are still there. And the one guy that got his 2-charge indictment is now feeling vindicated.
People make comments and I don't catch them on time. I wish the stupid thing would have a sound notification when somebody makes a comment. It'll go bing. That way I can be like, oh,
my understanding is that there is a window within which they can amend the complaint, and the statute of limitations has been told. They're going to argue that the statute of limitations has been lapsed, and they might get a judicial activist judge on the bench who's going to say, yeah, take it up at the Court of Appeal, and by the time that gets around to being adjudicated, who's in power?
Sure, I mean, it's the establishment protecting itself. Well, put up the MTG tweet. I love Mike Cernovich. I love her, too. I talked to her a lot. And I came on like last Tuesday. We never got the clip, but the first hour I said, I believe she's going to resign. She didn't tell me that. So I said, I think she resigns the next few weeks. She did resign 4 days later, or 3 days later. And so people are telling her, hey, you can't quit. You got to stay there. Most men don't fight as hard as her, folks. So it's easy to sit back and look at somebody who's like they're an icon or an avatar or like an emoji. This is a real person that spent most of her fortune. She made her self-destruction, self-made. On this, and she's just like, listen, when the revolution's ready, I'll be back, but right now I'm tapping out. And then so I see people attacking her, not just siding with Trump, which has been dumb to even have them fighting each other, but siding with her, saying, hey, lazy ass, come back. You've not been in the arena when she was the #1 enemy after Trump because she supported him. They tried to break her, it didn't work. So it's just the optics, all of it, like listen, I told all you folks when you wanted to choose Trump over Elon, I said it's neither or. Doge is great. Elon is popular. You have the establishment trying to run him out, which has now come out from members of Congress. This was a bad move.
I was looking at Facebook, and I have a neighbor who's like all into politics, and he posted some shit about California Governor Newsom, being like a scumbag or whatever, and like cheating, like ripping us off, spending money.
Those of you that want to keep doing it,
so,
go put on.
I posted some comments saying something like,
no, but everybody loves to lecture other people on how they should sacrifice their lives while they have the comforts of not
gets called New Scum in school. Like trying to act like I didn't know that, but that's a funny fact actually. That fool Newsom came out one time and he was like making a public announcement. He's like, "This guy Trump, he keeps calling me New Scum. Now I got kids in my kids' school calling my kid New Scum, and how am I supposed to explain that to him? We got to do something about this guy Trump."
It was just so stupid. I lost, but that's what you get for running in a liberal riding. But the idea that you could somehow stay there and finance your oppressors, finance your brutalizers. I mean,
let's just say it. For now, Canada's fallen. It's smart to hit the escape pod.
Well, I mean, I'll be a more effective, a more vocal person from where I'm not going to be.
If the Democrats get back in, I got to leave the country. I'll be more American than ever. But I'm going to get outside the new Soviet Union to broadcast in like Alexander Solzhenitsyn.
Well, sometimes the best tactic is a strategic retreat to where you can fight harder from. Stay up in Canada, finance your oppressors and have them stifle your voice and then lock you up for a mean tweet. But when it comes to Marjorie Taylor Greene, I like both Cernovich and Marjorie Taylor, and I can appreciate what Cernovich is saying. When Marjorie says, what am I supposed to do? Sit here and get assassinated while I get called a traitor by the man that I spent
she wants me to date her and ask her to be my girlfriend, but like online girlfriend. But the thing is, like about that, like it's just to me, like I used to try to do that all the time, but then I felt like it's kind of pointless. Like how am I going to try to like? It doesn't work either. I've tried to lock girls up like that, and it'll drive both of you crazy because when you fight, in real life, when you fight with your couple or your partner, like you need to have a kiss and make up session. You need to feel their skin, you need to feel their lips, you need to touch them, because the body, the soul requires that. In a digital relationship like that, when you guys fight, you can't do that. So you can never really close the loop,
that would stimulate or
you can never really close the broken chain on emotions, because it's all digital. There's no real touch and emotion, so it can drive couples crazy. So I've got to the point where I just stopped trying to do that.
I do it all the time, and I'm wrong. People love it.
I just say, hey, it's a digital relationship. We'll have fun with it while it lasts.
Exclusive breaking
information. It is, and outside of that, there's
believe
really
me, it's going to be totally insane
do.
with Emerald Robinson. It's a huge stuff. About 5 more minutes of video.
And I try to get them not to like. Let's not try to hold each other down. Let's just leave each other free. If we meet somebody else, we meet somebody else. We'll be together as long as we can. But as long as we're happy together, we'll be together. If we float somewhere else, then we float somewhere else. You know?
And we have the best supplements.
Just
and we have the biggest sell in the history of the AlexShow.com, which I don't own. So they shut InfoWars. They can't shut that down. That funds the Alex Shows Network.
Right, hold on. I got some shit going on. I'll be right back.
That's the escape pod. That's the mothership. That's the new fleet. So go there now if you support this game-changing information and get the ultimate products. I mean, the best, ultimate sea moss, ultimate turmeric, all the great products that are there. The very best methylene blue. It's all there, and you can buy any supplement and get any other supplement free. This is the first time we've done that. Even though the product costs more, it's still free. The sale ends Friday. TheAlexShowStore.com. Everything we do is the tip of the spear. You are the tip of the spear when you spread the word, when you pray for us, when you buy products. So listen, we have shortfalls, and they're not even that big, but I understand the economy's totally shot. Our audience is as big as it's ever been, and back when the economy was going and we had an audience this big, we'd be in high cotton and I'd be able to expand. Right now, I'm just trying to stay on air. So I need you to make the decision to go to thealexshowstore.com right now and take advantage of the biggest sale ever. Black Friday came early. That's right, Black Friday has come early. We always launch it the weekend after before Black Friday. Be a little different. Black Friday comes early, mega sale, the biggest sale ever. Buy one, get one free on all supplements. The Irish Sea Moss, the Ultra Methylene Blue, the Shilajit, the Bovine Colostrum, and dozens of other amazing products. This is the biggest sale we've ever done. Ends Friday, November 28th. Buy any supplement and get any other supplement for free. Normally it's buy one bottle of Irish Sea Moss, get another bottle of Irish Sea Moss, or buy one bottle of methylene blue, get another bottle. No, this is add any supplement to your cart and get another supplement free. You can mix and match any of our amazing supplements together. Don't miss out. This offer ends Friday, November 28th. Visit thealexshowstore.com today and fuel your body, mind, and power the info war. Take advantage of this amazing deal while supplies last. And here's another little tidbit that makes this a total loss leader when you use it. If you go to alexshowsapp.com and download the Droid or Apple app for free, that are the top apps, just in the last few months we launched it, folks at Big League, the Alex Shows channel, the Alex Shows Network, it's the same shopping cart on the app for your desktop or phone. You get an additional 20% off at checkout on top. So everybody should get the app and should definitely use that. But if you want to support us more and get more funds in, then don't use the app and get the additional 20% off. I'm serious. It's like a form of a donation. When I tell you that I need your support, it's absolutely critical. This is the most critical time.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We're not in junior high or high school, folks. This is not a beauty pageant. It's not what clique we are at or what table we sit at lunch. This is about philosophy. It's about ideas. It's about the future of humanity. And Trump, compared to the globalist, is night and day. We're still going to criticize him, as I said. And the reason we say this every segment is because this is the big fight. Populist conservatives are so holier than thou, and the left boosts people and promotes them. It takes me out of context constantly. I'm on CNN. People see me quote CNN, MSNBC, all the big things. Little clip out of context. I say, if Trump lets Todd Blanche prosecute Ed Martin and Pulte for doing their job, I'm done. But he's not going to do that. Notice they jump back and said, oh, no, we're not, even though they were trying it. And people get mad at Martin playing nice. Well, okay, great. The point is that we're not in a cult, we're engaged. So yeah, Trump's night and day. That's why we need to stay on his ass. And now you see my talking points that are accurate about the CIA coup going on, word for word from the White House now. That's what's happening. That's why you support us. That's why what you've done is so special. That's why I appreciate you. And to me, it really does make me like think, is this a simulation? Like the Total Recall, like I've just plugged in and I'm the hero of saving America in the world? Because it's so weird, but no, it's bizarre. So Viva Fry, I love you, man. The truth is most people don't get engaged and change history, and anybody could do this. They just haven't gotten engaged. But in closing, everybody can feel something big's coming. Big stuff's already happening. What else can we do to try to save civilization? Because civilization's hard to keep together. It's not just something that operates on its own. The globalists want to collapse it. What do we do to secure civilization for our children and posterity?
Well, the arc of human civilization always trends towards tyranny. Freedom and democracy is the exception on the timeline of human history. What can people do? Maybe I'm self-interested in this. People can and must be constructively critical when they view mistakes happening. You know, I was saying before the break that in today's day and age, people don't want to issue apologies because they get abused and used as a cudgel with which to beat somebody. But the bottom line is, when you make mistakes that have consequences that hurt you and your movement and what you care in, there's no shame in apologizing. And in fact, typically when you apologize, you're not doing it for the other, you're doing it for yourself and your own integrity. Trump can apologize. Trump can make amends. I thought maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene announcing her resignation for January is leaving a window open for amends to be made. But there is no benefit other than self-glamorization, self-gratification, and being a yes man when you are yes-manning the person that you should want to succeed into failure. And
so I'm just sitting here flirting with her the whole time. That's pretty much what we're doing
when Trump
here.
was, in my view, making an unforced, bungled error over the Epstein files, saying, panic and he knows what he's doing, 5G
she's having fun,
these are our new marching orders, and you're no longer wanted if you remain true and principled to what you've been doing for the last few years. It didn't do any good. We're at the same place where we would have been had people issued the constructive criticism at the time and had it been heard a little earlier. So you're doing no favors by being sycophants. You're doing no favors by being yes men. And Trump is not the last savior. I mean, but Trump for the time being is the savior for America. Had it been Kamala Harris, Alex, I mean, Lord knows what would have been happening to you right now. Had it been Joe Biden, and, you know, the yes man, by the way, you know, just to draw that comparison, who yes man Joe Biden into dementia, losing that debate. Yeah, a lot of people sat around and said, yeah, Joe, you're good to go, keep it covered up. And how did that work out? It doesn't work out. But
exactly. Freedom is the opposite of yes men. Science is about questioning everything. Life is science. Life is questioning.
Loyalty is making sure you don't let your friends make stupid mistakes. Period. So be critical, be supportive.
Well, that's right. A real friend will come over and intervene when something bad happening. Not just, oh, I'm your friend, you go ahead and kill yourself.
Well, I don't know what to say. It's like be supportive and be critical, and sometimes being supportive means being critical. Write that down.
Powerful. Viva Fry, thank you so much. VivaBarnesLaw.locals.com. Viva Fry, amazing. Thank you so much. And have a great weekend, Thanksgiving.
Yep. Happy
we
Thanksgiving.
adopt you. You're now an American. We need you.
Thank you very much.
Plus, the French help launch the country, so you're supposed to be here.
Alex Jones, patriot, a man they tried to silence. They came for his voice, his platform, his life, but they can't stop him.
I want to go shopping with her and shop sales.
We have the technology.
Because girls love fucking clothing.
We have the capability to make the world's most unstoppable force. Alex Jones will be that man. Better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster, louder.
Go to AlexJonesApp.com, the #1 news app in the world.
Man, I have a have an old addiction to nicotine. Like, I started smoking nicotine and I kicked it. I kicked the habit. You know, I stopped doing it. But, like, it's kind of weird. That shit, it will not leave me. Like I don't desire to always be smoking, but right every now and then I get this really strong craving to smoke. And that's hard to find. Like, it's hard to fight that.
Literal hundreds of important stories that I haven't gotten to today. And you know why? Because we have the big giant stories of another globalist, BlackRock, Democrat Party, CIA coup against Trump. And we got the White House and CIA insiders leaking that information. And we've got Flynn telling Trump national address to head this off in the past. This is so important. They can't have their civil war. They can't have their Podesta plan. This is exposed. So I'm telling you, listen, on the eve of Thanksgiving, I'm thankful to all of you that we're still on air. I'm thankful that you've supported us to be here still at this moment. God kept us here at this point, but God works through you. So this Thanksgiving, I am thankful to the listeners and the viewers and the supporters from the bottom of my heart. Now, I was talking to folks, multiple people that were in meetings at the White House 2 weeks ago and last week. And of course, they're like, don't source me.
I shot her some linens for her birthday. She doesn't ask for anything from me. Like, when I first met her, she would tell me that she doesn't want anything, and she was cool. Like, she has money. She has a job. We're literally both working. She buys all her own shit. She doesn't ever, she's never asked me for anything. Some girls you meet, they will ask you for money. They will tell you that they're like escorts and shit. Like, oh, you gotta pay me. Like, girls want me. Some girls will ask you to pay them to do what we're doing. Like, sit with me, like she's sitting and flirt with me and stuff like that. Like, they want you to pay them for that, which is, I don't fuck around like that. So I met this girl, and she just was good to me off the bat. I didn't have to ask her for anything. She shared her pictures with me. She voiced for me. She hung out with me a lot. She dressed up for me, and you know, she does a lot for me without me asking for nothing from her. So, or she doesn't ask anything from me. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what, dude, I like her. Like, she's a good girl. So I wanted to treat her good. So I buy her little clothes in here, which is really cheap shit. Like, it doesn't cost a lot to play. So I was like, fuck it, I'll throw her a little bit. I'll buy her little things that look sexy and shit, just to kind of like make her feel like she's pampered a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's kind of fun for her, and for me, it's funny to play the sugar daddy and whatever. But I mean, I don't have to do that. I do that for fun. Because, like, I'll buy money. I'll buy what they call linens here, which is the currency. You know, I'll buy the linens, but then I don't really do shit with them. Like, I'm not out here trying to buy like a little house or a car or a boat. Or, you know, when I want something really bad, I'll get it. But for the most part, I'll just buy myself clothing. Actually, I need to change my outfit. But I'll buy myself clothing mostly. And then the rest, I'll kind of just treat friends, you know, with, like, if I have a friend and they want something, or it's like the other day was a friend of mine's birthday, and I shot him some linens.
That has got to send a chill to the bone of Brennan, who's always believed he can operate with impunity. So what's your take on that, your intel? Then we'll get into the real central meat and potatoes here of your investigation and all your sources on election fraud. Emerald Robinson, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Alex. It's good to see you again. As far as that Seditious 6 video, I do believe that's just a signal that it's go time for the coup that's been laying in the shadows anyway. I know you talk about this all the time, and I saw your segment with General Michael Flynn earlier today, and that was really great. I have heard, like General Flynn, that Brennan is really in operational control of the intelligence community currently, and that he's still a major problem. I think it's great that the Seditious 6 did that video, because it kind of forced everybody to admit what we've been talking about this entire time. right? That there is a coup ongoing. It's not that it ended in November of 2024. I just hope that the president really does something about it. I know that the Pentagon is investigating Mark Kelly, as they should, but he needs to be recalled and court-martialed to send a message. Because I think right now, based on what I've heard, and I know we talked about this a little bit on your show the last time, the Democrats have felt very emboldened. The Uniparty's felt emboldened because they don't feel like the Trump administration has been getting accountability, and they're moving forward with their plans, and that includes
I hate when sometimes you find these girls
for treason,
and they
believe they can take back power
on social media, whatever.
And against many
they
of his
act like there's some like Batman
associates on the
superhero,
these are for much more serious charges than we even
or
saw
they're like this kind of like mobster mentality,
I can't say who told
and they say crazy things.
Let's just say they're in
and
Jack's emails, and they had a
like
plan
they
to
act
arrest
like
tens of
everybody's
thousands of
their
people,
enemy,
set up martial law,
and that they're on
that's
top
why
of it
people think,
all,
oh, they'll
right?
wait and win the midterms.
And like I just saw some girl that posted something,
coming out,
and it's like one of those things. It's one of those
hundreds
like
of millions still in Afghanistan.
and it's super long. I'm not going to read it all, but
that's why they've got to make their move, because they're
they'll
weak,
say stuff like,
which makes them
allow
dangerous.
me to be blunt. I read
They're
rooms.
desperate.
I never
They're
asked
very
to
desperate.
read.
And especially as we now
fake
start
smiles
talking
before
more
they
about
crack.
how the election fraud
I
is
feel
perpetuated. I'm
crushes,
glad you're having me on to talk about this
grudges,
today,
and
because I was a
whispers
little more
in the air.
restricted about what
I
I
know
could
who
share the
teamed
last
up,
time I
who
was
vented,
here.
and what
when
was said
General
without
Flynn
a
was talking
receipt.
earlier today about
Low energy, weird
unrestricted
tension,
warfare and a
quiet
color
envy.
revolution,
I catch it fast.
fraudulent
If the vibe is off,
elections
I'm off.
are the linchpin
Call it hyper
of
weird.
that,
Call
right?
it dramatic.
They're
I call it
absolutely essential
self-protection.
to the unrestricted
My spirit doesn't
warfare that
park
we've
where
been
it's
in
preyed
for,
on.
years,
No problems,
if not
no
decades
speech,
in
just
this country
distance.
that many Americans are just
I'm like,
now
what are you
waking up
talking
to,
about
Alex.
here?
So,
I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? They turn into these poets
until this week.
for like
this is a giant investigation. So I don't just
vibes,
type something.
social
this is so
vibes.
huge.
You know what I
People
mean?
at the White House call me.
Like the way, like, and it's just like, bro, get over
Mr.
it. Like,
Text
just who
this
gives a
morning or last
shit?
night,
Like,
hey,
you think
never
people
asked
like?
me
I
on.
don't.
Let's get something huge.
I'm so
I wanted to
tuned
ask
out of
you
that
on.
shit. I don't
This
even
is a
notice
big
that
deal.
people
So
are doing that
preface
to
this and
me.
why it's such a big deal.
Like,
Let's
if
walk
people
through.
like, I mean, look, I have a friend out here
It's a
that
huge
I
deal.
feel like that with him sometimes.
Just on the
But
election,
those
but
are
how they
inside thoughts. Like, I feel like,
because
oh,
it
this guy doesn't
reveals
like hanging
how
out with me. It kind of
they
sucks because,
conduct the election
I'll go
fraud.
out of my way for
I
them,
have
and
talked to
they don't do that for
dozens
me.
of
And
sources
I ask them to invite me, they don't invite me.
this
Like, those are things that I'll think in my head. I might like vent a little bit and just mention it, but I'm not going to be like making some poetry about it. You know?
Year and the dozens
You
of sources
think
that I've
like
talked to in the last
they're
year,
adding? We're friends on Facebook. I'm not going to make a post like, yeah, you say you're a real like it's coded messaging. You know what I mean?
Put on my
Like
radar in
I have to
November
like passively
2020.
say things.
Okay, how this comes out of Venezuela,
So
how
they
it was born out of
recognize it, but they
Smartmatic,
don't
and
know
how
it's
spreaded
them.
itself
You know what I
through
mean? And I'm like,
other
you know,
voting machine companies under
you
different
say we're
names.
real friends,
But
but
let's talk about
you've never
2024
invited me
and how
once
it was
to a
saved.
location.
I have
But
this in my
that's okay
thread
because
on
I
my
keep
X
my
account
head up
at
to the
Emerald
sun.
Robinson.
I don't look
I'm
back
also
to
going to
the
be
dark
sharing
shadows.
this and
Like
adding
I need to,
the
do I
story
have to
on
say
my
things like
Substack,
that,
which is a
like in
little
my
bit easier to
profile, like in my
at
Facebook? Like it's kind of stupid to me,
a
you
little
know?
bit later
All right, so
today.
let's just
In my
start over
opinion, it's a
premises.
little
Let's put this up
childish,
front.
but
We're live now, but I'm going to take this and clip it out and go. Hopefully, it goes viral.
some girls
It
get
needs
into
to,
that
folks.
little toxic
I remember
mode. And it's
days
just
after
like,
the election,
don't
having
even
people, real
think
people
about good
in high-level
things. Like,
intelligence.
think about the
I'm not
people
gonna
that
say
make you
names,
happy,
people
not
that
the
make
people
guesses.
that don't. You know?
Saying, no, here's how we did it. We figured it out. Serbia, we just did some things, cut them off that day. People ask, well, then why were the Democrats able? Clear fraud in Virginia, California, you name it. How were they able to steal it again? Because they moved it, they moved the operation. But that's okay. Now we're going to target that as well.
I feel so bad, man.
This is now being released. This is coming out.
This
is being confirmed. This is how
the Facebook dating
Democrats
app,
magically got
and
6,
like
7 million
every
less
single
votes
time I match with
than they got
somebody,
the time
it's
before.
like
This is the magic of how
somebody
Biden got 8
seriously
million or almost
unattractive.
9 million more votes than Obama.
It's never
Who
like a
believes
mid,
that?
you know?
This is how magically all
Like
those
I'm like,
Democrat
okay,
voters
you know,
disappeared.
they're not all
You've
that,
been
but
you've done the
they're
research,
cute,
you've got
you
the
know?
sources. It's now
Like,
time
it's
for
never
people to know
that. It's
how we overrode
constantly,
not the mail-in
like,
ballots, not the
really
digital
bad.
voting, but the major electronic voting
It's
machine
always like
fraud.
really, it's like unibrow.
Right now, this is a mega
you know,
global
all
exclusive
kinds of
Emerald
things
Robinson
like that.
start
I'm just
at the
like,
beginning.
why?
Yeah,
Why
and
is that the
remember
only
that
people I'm matching with?
there are
Like it
thousands
really,
of ways to cheat. We're talking
really
about
breaks down my
specific
self-esteem to
voting
make
machine
myself
fraud
feel
as it relates particularly to the
really
battleground states.
that's the only people that
This
will
started a few
like,
weeks, or the
like,
part
like
of this
my
story
like
started
me,
a
you know
few
what I mean?
weeks before the 2024
I
election in October.
I have a feeling that
Okay.
it has like
Senators
something to
Mark
do with like
Dwayne
a
Boyce
shadow
and former
ban
Senator,
because I post
David
a lot of
Perdue,
like
who's now the
political
ambassador to
content
China,
and things
has
like
finally
that,
got a
and it's
meeting
counter
for a man
culture
who had been
to
investigating this for
mainstream
years,
media
knew
narrative,
exactly
and they
how
like to
America's
silence that kind of
elections were
stuff.
being rigged.
So I probably got some kind of weird shadow ban where even in dating, they're like, don't like ban him also, like don't let him match with anybody attractive because we don't want his rhetoric spreading. So like I'm like this virus.
The whistleblowers
that,
they had
you know what I
assembled.
mean?
He gave the presentation to Susie Wiles. There's a fun little colorful aspect of the story that they shared with me. Susie digests it. She takes it in.
I really wish we could have seen Ruff.
Cake.
He was at the sandbox,
She
but
eats it
I'm hanging out
slowly,
with her. I can
and then
take her
she
back to
says,
the sandbox, but he left.
Okay.
But I just wanted to kind
I
of get
think
close
this
with her
needs
again
to
because
be
we kind of had a little
to the
breakup.
one man that she
So I
knew
wanted
that
to
she
have
could
some
trust
time with
on
us
this, or
alone. And
felt
she's
that
on
she
her
could,
phone,
to
so she can't
verify
really be
if it
walking
was
around.
true.
But
And that was Elon Musk. Now, that man who had this information, he spent about 3 days briefing a lot of people at Mar-a-Lago, but he did brief Elon Musk. And it's really fun when you hear how this all went down. The man goes to the residence that Elon Musk is staying at this time at Mar-a-Lago. He explained to me that Elon Musk is sitting on the floor. There's the children around. He is prepared to give this PowerPoint presentation to Elon Musk that goes into great detail about the players in Venezuela, in America, how the systems work, how the software runs, how they've done this, how it was developed by Hugo Chavez at the behest of Hugo Chavez, how it was successful in the 2004 referendum in Venezuela, and they plan to take this global, which they did. Elon Musk didn't want any of that. He says he doesn't have time for PowerPoint presentations. He asked for the data. So the man gives Elon Musk a USB key. He inserts it, implements the data, injects the data into an artificial intelligence platform, which presents Elon with essentially what we call a one-pager, right? A short summary breakdown of everything that was in that PowerPoint presentation. Elon looks at it very quickly, gets on the phone, and he says, "We have a problem. It's true." Now, you'll remember this moment because Elon Musk flew the next day to Pennsylvania. That was on October 17th, 2024. Remember, he did that lengthy town hall, I think it was about 90 minutes. He even had a memorable exchange with our friend Greg Stenstrom, who's been on InfoWars before, the author of the parallel election. But in that, we noticed, I remember watching that and think, there's something a little bit different here with how Elon Musk is talking about our election system. During that, he mentioned Dominion. He said during that presentation, and it's still online, I'll look today, I'm going to include the link to that in my Substack at Emerald.tv. Alex, he said,
I was playing Second Life, and there's a girl that I was talking to for some time, and we kind of had a little breakup, and then I found her, and I'm trying to like patch things up, so we're just kind of sitting here together. She's at work
doesn't that seem
in real life, so I think she's on her phone talking, but
in that moment,
we're just kind of hanging out a little bit, so
Elon Musk was telling the American people in a very public
what the hell? I just gave her 600
appearance that our election systems are rigged. But they were still faced with the conundrum, like, what do you do about it? How do we stop it? What proceeded in weeks following after that presentation in Philadelphia is that the Venezuelan whistleblowers, that Patrick Byrne and Gary Burnson and the man that I mentioned went and briefed at Mar-a-Lago.
So I want to try to get her because she sent me all these pictures and she showed me her profile and all this,
or action film.
I don't have it on me now, so I can't see it.
Switzerland, and then
so I'm trying to get her to contact me outside of Second Life so I can see it again.
At that time, they were sitting in Stade, Switzerland in a safe house because you got to imagine what kind of threat these people are under, having defected from the Venezuelan government and being willing to tell how they've rigged their elections, not only theirs, but we'll get to how many in just a moment across the globe. So they're sitting there. They began to brief one of Elon Musk's tech guys and other people at Mar-a-Lago via basically Zoom,
The
like a
thing is,
video
stupid
conferencing
Discord,
platform.
like it'll
They
send
start
me
telling
all
them
these
how it works.
messages, like
In fact,
all these
General
stupid
Michael Flynn,
channels,
who
like
was
these chat
on
rooms that I'm in, or
InfoWars earlier today,
it'll start sending me all these
excellent information.
notifications,
If
and
people
I'm
didn't
like,
see
dude,
that,
I don't
I
want to
suggest
see
you go
that.
back
Like,
and
I
watch
only
it.
want to see messages from like
Flew to
PMs,
Switzerland
like
to meet
not
these
like
whistleblowers who
room
I've
chats.
talked to some of them myself.
I think I might have fixed it to
And
not
verify
do
this
that, but
information.
I don't know.
General Flynn asked them, how long has this been going on? I am told that Flynn was even taken aback by the answer. They said, well, for at least 20 years and in 72 countries. When you ask why people don't want to touch it, there you go. This is going to have, it's going to have shockwaves that reverberate throughout the world when everyone understands what's been going on.
And by the way, they have former high-level, highly decorated, most respected CIA
Second Life
section
pregnancy.
chiefs coming out.
Oh my God, Second Life
and
is so
exposing
weird.
that they've seen all the documents. They know this as well. So
Oh,
the point is, Trump's
are
making a
you
major
saying the
move
news?
now with this coming out. That's why the Democrats are so freaked out and calling for a coup.
Yeah, and Gary
Oh,
Burnson
this
has
is
been on
somebody.
this
This is somebody from Second Life. I just added them, and they're watching the stream
years.
now.
And in fact, he was also residing in
This,
Switzerland at the time of the election, U.S. election, because they knew if it didn't go, if they were able to steal another election, Patrick Byrne, Gary Burnson, this guy from Venezuela, they were all dead meat. In fact, the guy who briefed at Mar-a-Lago, he'd actually flew to Oslo, Norway, for the election, because if it went bad, like you said, they were going to arrest thousands of people. I've been told that I was on a list of 700 that was to be directly targeted in the second
I've talked to
term.
the DOJ that's seen the list. It was over 10,000 people, sweetheart. You're on it.
Yeah, we're all on it. So
That's good. We want to be on that list.
That means we're on the right side of history. But history, we have to make sure. I heard what Flynn said today. There's one more election. That's it. This is make or break. We got a lifeline in 2024 when these whistleblowers worked with Trump's, the tech guys, and ultimately Senator Mullen. Here's where they did. So this is probably my favorite part of the story, Alex, is that there had been a Japanese blogger who had apparently been watching the 2020 election and capturing the IP addresses during the 2020 election. He had put this on Twitter like some years before 2024. In research by the investigative team that I call the Three Musketeers, Gary Burnson and this Venezuelan gentleman, they came across this data from the Japanese guy, and they asked him, they just DM'd him, okay, on Twitter, and asked him, can we get this data? And he essentially said, yeah, if you buy me a coffee. So for $15 worth of Bitcoin, like nothing, this guy sends them the IP addresses. The whistleblowers verify it. They give that over, as they're working with, we can say Trump's team. But it was really Senator Mullen who, again, comes in and saves the day and makes sure that the right people gets this information. The day of the election, no one knew what was going to happen because that was the end of it. They've done what they could do. The Three Musketeers, their team of what they referred to them as different names, but bananas or visitors, that's the whistleblowers from Venezuela. They'd done what they could do. So they didn't know if it was going to work or not, right? But obviously we saw what happened on election night. I remember sitting there knowing what I knew, and I had researched since November of 2020. I said, they can still do this. There's no way. I didn't know how he was winning because I knew they still had this capability. What I didn't know, and I found out in days afterwards, or a couple months afterward, is that the threat had been neutralized. They had taken out that Serbian office. The IP addresses had pointed back there, but also recall, Sheriff Darleaf out of Berry County, Michigan, has released emails between Serbia, Dominion employees in Serbia, and Dominion employees in the United States, right? So that's also been verified there as part of discovery in an ongoing lawsuit. They managed to stop their computers from working, take out their servers, which, by the way, are Huawei servers, okay? But that was a one-time Hail Mary, save the country, because they just shift again. And as we saw the down ballot races in California, there were, several races that didn't get called for 30 days when a Republican was leading, and then, of course, the Democrat.
Exactly. They got mail-in voting. They got dead people, illegals voting. Then they've got the gerrymandering, the way they've written it. Then they've got all the extra congressional seats, 18 of them off illegals. This is all, the Democrats admit they've done this. So we have a constellation of this. But the only reason the extra 8 million votes didn't magically appear, as I was told from sources, is we can't tell you if this happened. Now it's coming out. I want to continue after the break. We got 3 minutes to break, but what about this? I was told 2 weeks ago, then a week ago, people that were at the White House in this meeting with the president and others in a briefing, and I'm not trying to...
Oh my God, I have another thing. Hold on, I got to step away for a second.
That she's done a great job on this, and that they now have proof of China manufacturing the chips for the computers in Taiwan that are sent to Venezuela, and indeed with the remote access control, which they've broken open machines and found, but they throw you in jail if you do it, claiming you violated their source code. So the point is, this is coming out. The Democrats know it. They're scared.
They do. And speaking of the manufacturing part of this, where the hardware and the chips being manufactured, actually, that's in the public record already. People just don't know where to look for it. There's that ongoing Smartmatic bribery corruption case that's down in the Southern District of Florida, and one of the recent filings with the superseding indictment that was filed just a few weeks ago against Smartmatic itself, the company.
Yeah,
of
but folks
Smartmatic.
don't know, Smartmatic's supposedly perfect. The DOJ's now indicted one of their executives for money laundering and bribery out of the Philippines with this.
More than one, 4 of them.
Yeah.
4 of them, and they've indicted the company. And in that latest superseding indictment filing, they mention a vendor A in Taiwan, okay? And it says that that manufacturer, and all the voting machine companies use this manufacturer, they say. It's actually the CCP. It's in Taiwan, okay? But what they do is really ship it there to kind of skirt, you know, the revelation that is coming from China.
So
and
what happens next? This is all coming out.
The indictment file. So you can go find that.
Okay, I'm back.
We've covered it. So this is definitely coming to a head. What's the big picture synopsis?
Oh, boy.
The big picture synopsis is that we now know explicitly that our elections are rigged. We know how they're rigged. We know they've been rigged in multiple countries. The data
and we know they
there.
target battlegrounds. That's the key.
They target the battleground states: Arizona, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, right? And while this might just be like 30% of the market share, it's enough to flip a presidential election. But then you have all the other ways they can steal. The main point of this is we know. I'm not saying our intelligence agencies are absolved from any blame. They're involved in this too. And they've tried their best to make sure this information doesn't come out, and they're still trying, Alex, okay? They're culpable, they're involved, and they're also involved in the cover-up. But we know now something has to be done about it. I hope that the administration presents this information to the American people, because I don't think everyone understands why there are warships surrounding Venezuela. This is really why, because they've been overthrowing our government.
Absolutely. Emerald Robinson, stay there. We'll be right back.
See what's cooking on TV.
Thanksgiving Day is coming, and for Charlie Brown, that can only mean it's a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
I'll tell you, Pat, this stuff is looking good and smelling good and tasting good. We got to dig in and start eating now.
No, I think she's okay with money.
Drop the turkey. Give me that fight.
The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement. I don't know how much longer the crowd is running for their lives.
Thanks for that on-the-spot report, lads. For those of you who just tuned in, the Pinedale Shopping Mall has just been bombed with live turkey. Film at 11.
Hey, buddy.
You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
Look, I had a chance to shoot a bunch of you the other day and didn't.
He wants to get rid of Thanksgiving forever. To get rid of the Thanksgiving Day parade.
All right, Spider-Man.
He's got spiderweb rays coming out of his hands. He can cling to tall buildings, and he's looking for Octopus, the Green Goblin.
Morangi to OJ. OJ running to the left, turns the corner to 30. OJ at the 25, the 20, and falls ahead of the 15. That does it. He broke the record.
For Clint Longley, even if he never completes another pass, they'll always remember the one he threw on Thanksgiving Day, 1974.
Where's the turkey, Chuck? Don't you know anything about Thanksgiving dinners?
Those aren't pillows.
What the hell is playing on your thing?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Tonight, on this Thanksgiving, I come before you to ask your help, to ask your strength, to ask your prayers. All of us have lived through 7 days that none of us will ever forget.
We'll join our regularly scheduled program after these messages.
I am not funded by billionaires. I'm not funded by anybody but you. And I am in the middle of a major deep state battle with the globalists. We have shortfalls, and we need your support. So just go get a T-shirt, go get a ball cap, get the ultramethylene blue, get the Irish sea moss. And so you just commit to support us, sign up for auto ship, get 50% off. You can cancel any time. It's not like a full commitment like you marry somebody. You can just subscribe to it, or order it once. When you get it and love it, go subscribe. And then cancel any time for free. But that way you get it every month or every 2 months, however you set it. And then you just boom, 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 you support us. That way you don't have to worry about it each time. I need people to commit to this fight like 1/100th what I've committed. I'm not bitching, but we're changing the world.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones. From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
All right, anybody that pays attention to this broadcast knows we got about a 98% accuracy rate. And you can see our talking points that are reality-based everywhere. So I'm just going to say this to all of you. If you want to live in a free country and you want to have a future, pray for this broadcast. Humbly, I ask you, support it with word of mouth and financially support us. And again, I'd be an idiot if I sold you stuff that didn't have a great effect. We have the biggest selection of Patriot T-shirts, ball caps, hoodies, sweaters, you name it. You wear a 1776 shirt, you wear an InfoWars shirt, you wear a Trump shirt, it's an adventure. You'll mainly get love, might get your dinner bought for you, might get stabbed in the back in the wrong Democrat area. The point is, it's 1776 worldwide, new designs every day, 25% off store-wide right now. Black Friday comes early. But on the supplements, we have the biggest sale ever. It's not just buy one bottle of Irish sea moss or ultramethylene blue or Shilajit or bovine colostrum. We have the best private labeled, top-rated one. You can buy a $20 supplement and get a $40 supplement free. It's buy any supplement, get any other supplement you want free. These are amazing products. These are game-changing. And I need your support. And so this is not a simulation. This is not a drill. This is not a Netflix entertainment show. This is the real world. They have fought like the devil to keep this from coming out, and it's all coming out regardless of what they do. So for all you on the fence, that's who I'm going at. Go to thealexjonesstore.com. Oh, there's going to be explosion when they shut us down in the next month. Put the receiver and all of it because we've exhausted our legal stuff. We've survived so much, people think, oh, okay, right, Alex, you're there. Well, guess what? Just find us where we're at, the Alex Jones Network. They don't know thealexjonesstore.com. That's what funds and runs the Alex Jones Network. But just remember that. The point is we need your support now. Do your Christmas shopping early. We need funds in the legal fight. We're filing conspiracy against rights, civil rights lawsuits. We already have some filed, but the big ones are coming. They're in a lot of trouble. And so you're literally not just keeping us on air, you're funding our operation against the deep state. There is nowhere, this is by the grace of God, it's not me. There's no broadcast in the world causing more destruction and tyranny than this operation. And it's our guests, it's our callers, it's our crew. I'm a very small part of it. You are everything. I need you to take action, to decide to do it. I want to thank those that have. I want to ask those that haven't. What are you thinking? Because look, we're all in this together. Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin both said, hangs together, hangs separate. You are aiding yourself when you support the broadcast, even if you were just giving a donation. This is a donation. You get a great product because we want you to get it and love it and form the relationship so I can build a bigger network and get more hosts on, not just survive, but expand, which is our plan. I got the will to do it, but I need you to decide to join me. It's like a marriage, basically, or a business deal, or an alliance. I'm waiting. I'm here. But the level of power I have to fight the enemy, despite all of my will and despite all of my commitment, is you. You're the amplifier. You're the wind in the sails. You're the entire system. If you don't take action, the dog don't hunt. I'm asking you now to take action. TheAlexJonesStore.com. The sale ends Friday. Please take action now. All right, Emma Robinson continuing, getting into this huge in-depth report you've done. All this coming out. The White House getting set to release more information. Continue with the information that's come out and how you think the bad guys are going to respond to this. Emerald Robinson.
Oh, it'll only make them more desperate. And like I said, they're not just sitting by and waiting and watching. They're already preparing their indictments. They're preparing how they're going to target Americans. So this is an existential crisis moment for us. Either the next elections are fair and they're not, and we lose our country. What really was a major takeaway for me in doing the research that I've done for years, and particularly with the last year of hundreds of hours that I've spent sitting and talking with people who were part of this, the whistleblowers, the facts that I've confirmed with members at ODNI, the current Office of the Director of National Intelligence, is that we knew a lot of this back in 2020, Alex. January 6th could have been prevented. The 4 years of the weaponization under the Biden regime, the people who lost so much, the J6ers, people who put all their money, like Patrick Byrne, he spent like $80 million. Mike Lindell spent his fortune. He's been targeted for trying to reveal the truth and save the country. We knew so much of this, even late 2020, because I knew a lot of this. I sat in a deposition for Dominion, and I didn't know this. They asked me how my tweets, my reporting on some back in Dominion predated 99% of all traffic, and it's because I had seen this. I had been briefed by people in the intelligence community. I'll name one source, the late Rich Higgins, who was a great American. He wrote the memo. He tried to warn Trump about subversive actors in his first term. We'd be in a much better place if Rich Higgins were still with us now. He's unfortunately passed on. I have been shocked by verifying the facts with these whistleblowers that I now have access to, right? The engineers, the employees at CNE, who was a key employee of the Venezuela government for elections. Now I've gotten to verify and see the receipts and see the really hard technical data. We knew enough about this in 2020 to do something about it, but people told Trump he was crazy, right? Then Director of National Intelligence, Acting Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe did nothing. In fact, he didn't even do what he was supposed to do in releasing the report about interference, foreign interference in our elections, because the intelligence community kept him from releasing it all, he says, especially as it related to China. But he had a duty to do it, and he didn't. We could have avoided all of this. Trump had instincts, and he knew this was right. And he was told, this is something that I want to know more. I'm going to drop a little more of this probably today, this aspect of the story, and it does go back to 2020, but it's very important. Trump did commission a report, and that's been brought up a lot by the legacy media, you know, the propagandist media of late. I saw it in a few articles trying to slam, say, Kurt Olson, who's been hired by the president as an attorney to deal with elections at the White House. There was an investigation or that Trump commissioned, but he got a recommendation for a group to investigate. I'm probably going to drop their name later today. I don't know who recommended this group to the president, Alex, but we need to know who, because this was literally the worst people you could call to investigate. They're the people who've known about it and been in on it for years here in America, because there are a lot of those people too. And they need to reveal those names, and the Trump administration needs to prosecute them. The group that was recommended to Trump were so bad. It was literally the worst people that it had to be on purpose. And of course, what did they say? Well, there's nothing there. This was a legitimate election. We're sorry, Mr. President. There's no there. They were covering up for the fraud, the people that Trump hired to investigate. That's used in all of these, the Washington Post, Politico now, when they try to slam, and they'll probably bring this report back up, right, as they try to slam my reporting. So I'm going to release information on that group. People had told Trump about this in 2020 and early 2021, and he tasked, particularly Jared Kushner, to get a team and to do something about it, and nobody did anything about it. Now Tulsi Gabbard's been tasked to do something about it. She's been working diligently. I do give my hat tip to Susie Wild. She made sure Elon got the information, and that the people were briefed in Mar-a-Lago, or 2024 wouldn't have been saved.
So you just seconded my intel that I'm not trying to be her cheerleader, but that she's really been working hard on this.
She has, and she was essential in 2024. She could have shut that down right there and said, no, this is what people have said for years. This is crazy talk. Those people have tried to push this nonsense. But no, she said, this lines up. I'm going to have Elon look at it. And then multiple people were breached, right? Susie was the gatekeeper of Mar-a-Lago. She could have shut it down at any point. She did not. She made sure people got the briefings and that this intelligence was vetted. And then ultimately something was done about it. But now there's something that's got to be done about it. We got a lifeline. Tulsi Gabbard's ODNI. I've talked to several members of her team about what they know. She was stopped from giving the full report to President Trump. That's also in this thread that I've done.
Who did that?
I was told it was staffers from the White House who told her not to include the intel about the 2020 election.
Because they think it hurts him to say that was stolen. No, it doesn't. We know it was.
In 2026, they said he needs to be focused on the 2026 midterm.
No, stop filtering information to the president. Those people, that's treasonous. He gave an order. He wants the damn intel. Give it to him.
And he was very upset about it. Very.
Oh, so he found out they covered it up.
He found out they covered it back up. He told her not to bring him this. He wants a full report. There are people within the CIA and the intelligence community still trying to solve this, but I can also tell you that there is a task force that's been repurposed down in Florida. There's been a U.S. attorney who's been looking into this for years. Now the mainstream media is on this. There was a recent story in The Guardian, and they're trying to paint this as misinformation again, and that this is just a politicized investigation. It's not. This attorney, U.S. attorney, has quietly been working on this because it was put on his radar because of the region that he's in. So there is an ongoing investigation. Now, those whistleblowers that I've been talking about that were essential to this story, right? Essential to helping U.S. officials and U.S. intelligence and Elon Musk's team understand what was going on. They're still sort of hanging out in the wind. They were able to make it into the United States. They came on a catamaran from the Bahamas, from Switzerland to the Bahamas to the U.S. Tom Homan made sure they were able to legally enter the country safely as well. But they're still not under federal protection.
Oh, so that's what Byrne talked about, smuggling them in.
Yeah, they weren't smuggled in illegally, okay? Because
No, smuggled to here before that. Yeah. So understanding this, we need serious action, obviously. But you look how scared the Democrats are. They know it's closing in. You got caught up on the break. I remember this point about why we're going into Venezuela. And I'm not normally for regime change, but they're not just about the drugs. It's not just about the piggy bank for the Democrats. It's been the powerhouse confirmed of the fraud. And so I think that's clearly why Trump's putting pressure on them. So start back when we hit the break 15 minutes ago. You were talking about that and we hit the break. I forgot to come back to that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people, and I understand it because I'm totally against regime change. It's hasn't really worked out well for us in the past. And people think this is just related to the drug smuggling, right? And everybody understands, well, Venezuela is not even necessarily the big problem there. It's a problem, right? It's a narco-terrorist state. There's no denying that. But they can bring them up through land routes. They bring them through Guatemala, right? So I was so hoping that the administration would explain the full operation, the rationale behind it. Because when you see the big picture, it's really a four-pronged situation with Venezuela. There is the drug trafficking and money laundering, right? Sure. There's Tren de Aragua, which was really a paramilitary operation, as we've talked about one of the times I made an appearance on your show not too long ago. We went in depth on that, and I know you talked about that in depth. But there's the election fraud aspect of this. And when you see the scale of which has been used, I did ask one of the whistleblowers in the last couple of days, have they used this in our elections before? And the answer is yes. So our democracy our constitutional republic has been subverted much longer than we even knew, okay? And that other countries have been subverted. 72, right, is what they told General Flynn and what they told me. So there's the election interference aspect of this. So that's why you get the open borders, right? That's why you get the communist takeover of countries like America. Then there's also the counterintelligence part of this. What American people don't know either, and that has not been explained. And I think that Tulsi Gabbard and good members of the intelligence community are just now kind of wrapping their heads around is that Cuba and Venezuela have flipped a lot of assets, key assets. That's people, right, working in the United States government, key officials in like the State Department, in the intelligence community. They flipped them to be their assets. And I think we look at Cuba and Venezuela and we look at them as failed regimes, but you don't understand the kind of money they have and the power they have.
Let's explain. Communists don't fail. Communism isn't a failed thing. It's a successful tyranny. They suck the people dry, then they keep all the money and exploit it to take over the next country. It's a takeover, weaponized system like Islam.
Right. So we have a counterintelligence problem as well that stems from Cuba and Venezuela. When you add that all together, then you see the full picture and you understand. And also, there was a stand-down order under John Brennan. I don't know if General Flynn talked about this on your show, from John Brennan to stop gathering Cuban intelligence. So we have purposefully, at the direction of our intelligence community, stopped gathering intel on our own hemisphere. We've been distracted by the squirrel overseas, right, in the Middle East. And we were not paying attention to what was happening in our own Western hemisphere that was allowing for the communist takeover of our country, the chaos that you're seeing. And we're just now understanding that.
Incredible.
And that's why the warships surrounding Venezuela.
Now, I want to play a clip here of a former CIA section chief, Afghanistan, highly decorated, laying out exactly what you're talking about. And I've actually seen these reports from other people before, but this guy's very credible. We have the documents. Here's Bernson breaking it down.
Knew so much about election theft, and this was over a decade ago. And he went to a congressman, because he lived in New York. He went to a congressman there, knocked on the door and said, this is what I know about, and told this whole story. And the congressman looked, that's Cuban information. How dare you steal that from Cuba? And started yelling at the individual. By the time he got home, leading members of the cartel had called his house and say, we know you walked into a congressman today, and your mother and father live down the streets, and we're going to murder them the moment we ever get another report on you. So that guy went silent for a decade. And he did wind up contacting us later. But that's how bad this is. And he walked into his congressman. There are members in every part of our government that have been affected by this. This is the great plague on America, that they figured out Americans could be bought because they were not loyal. Something happened after the end of the Cold War here.
So it's really like the last 25 years is where this kind of came into being.
It's a cultural thing that has occurred in our country. I hate to say it.
It's Gary Burnson, former Section Chief, Afghanistan, CIA. And the point is, I have literal giant stacks just today of the Somali community alone stealing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions just being indicted this week. And that's like the culture. So we sit here, taught the West is bad, whites are bad, all this crap, and literally, compared to the rest of the world, we're like angels. It's just true. And so there's this total invasion with this communist Muslim John Brennan running it all because we were weak, we were open, and now the jig's up, and now they're panicking, and now their piggy bank is surrounded. Emerald Robinson, where do you see all this going?
Well, it's according to who wins, right? History is written by the winners. If we win and our elections become secure and we have a true constitutional republic, people like Patrick Byrne, who has literally bankrolled this. He has bankrolled these Venezuelan whistleblowers, keeping them alive and their families, and fed so that they could help the United States out of his own pocket. He has not been reimbursed. I want to make sure that's clear. He's done this out of his own pocket. People like him and Gary Burnson.
I mean, what about? We'll go back to Gary in a minute. But I mean, what about Mike Lindell? Lost everything he had in this fight.
Yes, Mike Lindell has, and he's still targeted. Do you know that Mike Lindell is targeted on a daily basis, whether it's from financial institutions or lawsuits? And the man just keeps fighting on.
Oh, the judge in Minnesota found him guilty with no evidence, even though the very company suing him just got indicted for what he said they do. I mean, it's just crazy. Believe me, I know how it is. I've been through it myself. So whoever's under attack, people need to support, folks. It's very simple.
And if people like you, if Trump carries this through and cleans it up and holds those people who have done this to our country responsible, and we preserve our constitutional republic, these people, you, Patrick Byrne, Mike Lindell, Gary Burnson, and this Venezuelan national who took it upon himself to help out, and these Venezuelan whistleblowers will go down in history as great American patriots who saved our constitution.
No, I totally agree. But as negative as all this is, we have moved light years from where we were 10 years ago or 5 years ago. I mean, this is all coming out.
If you keep going down that
deep state, they've got to be really concerned.
River. And he's like, that Fall River.
They're obviously concerned, but that's when they get very dangerous. And so we can't back down. Okay, so maybe we have them on their heels a bit, but they are going to push faster and harder. In fact, because of Donald Trump and him being such a flashlight when he came into the picture and winning the 2016 election, you and I both know it sped it up. They went faster and harder with our communist takeover. So now that they're feeling like they're under the gun and time could be running out again, they're just going to push faster and harder. And we've got to keep talking about it. We've got to demand action from the president and his administration, Alex, because they're not going to back down. And that's with the Seditious Six video, right? They're telling you that explicitly. They're activating their subversive people within our military. So Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, I'm still getting used to that, has to be on his guard. He's got to be watching his ranks.
You're totally right. They're getting ready to make their move. But isn't it heartening to you that now they have the Deputy Chief of Staff coming out saying it's a rogue CIA, which you know it is, all of this. You have all these former, high-level people coming out. I mean, the good news is...
What the hell?
I can finally tell this story and that people are listening. I have been talking about this, as have you, since November of 2020. Telling you this election is rigged. This election is rigged. And I know people got tired of hearing it. I was called the crazy lady, but I'm so glad to see so many people talking about it. That is encouraging. And I was talking to what used to be a hardcore leftist a week ago, and she told me, she said, look, I'm willing to believe this when I see the evidence. Well, the evidence is coming out, okay? And people are seeing it. So yes, we are in a far better place, because before we were blind and we didn't know we were even in an unrestricted war. We didn't know we were in battle the way we know we are now. And I do think there's some really great people in the administration.
Emerald, I got to stop you. We've got breaking news. The London Telegraph is reporting 2 National Guard officers shot in Washington, D.C.
I'm just waiting to get out. I got the next 2 hours to go.
Shot. 2 National Guard officers reported been shot in D.C. Metropolitan Police Department confirmed a shooting had taken place.
I'm hungry.
We're unable to say who had been shot or what the condition was. The shooting is said to have taken place just streets away from the White House. Newsmax White House correspondent claimed a Secret Service agent said the 2 National Guard members had been shot. Pictures from the scene showed a large police presence, including officers and armed assault rifles. The area was cordoned off. I mean, this is the left openly calling for violence. I don't like to be sitting in an area with no people. Not just they're following legal orders, but that it's illegal. And you've got the image of the National Guard's person shot here. This is the left. I mean, I actually had like 10 clips, 10, that I haven't played today of Democrats at major universities, faculty, and others saying, get the gun, it's time to kill, the uprising's now. And then they think somehow when there's a civil war and a black guy gets shot, they're going to somehow go, look, they shot a black guy and use that to make it a race war. I think America is going to be wise to this, including black folks. And I bring up black folks because the Democrats keep saying in their war games they're going to use them as the trigger. Well, black folks, you're going to play that part? I don't think you are. That's why we get... So, Emerald Robinson, what do you make of this? Let's pull up the HD of this photo. Look at this poor... Looks like they got shot while they were in a building. There's shattered glass. We're going to find out what happened here, but wow. Emerald?
Yeah, I actually was messaging our White House correspondent at Lindell TV to see if she had heard anything, because I'm just learning about this now as you share this with me on your show.
Well, let's do this. Let's go to break. Okay. Let's make sure that Stuart Rhodes, former political prisoner, founder of the Oath Keepers, is host of the Fourth Hour, knows about this. I'm sure he does. But let's come back and do 5 minutes on this straight ahead. Folks, I can't do it without you. I'm going to ask you to give me your support. Biggest sale in the history of the AlexJonesStore.com. Buy one supplement and get any other supplement free. That means you can buy a $20 supplement, get a $40 supplement free. That's a hell of a deal. 25% off on all the supplements. I mean, all the Patriot apparel. I need your support. I need funds. We've proven ourselves. It's a no-brainer. You support us, you support your own future. These products are incredible. It's a win-win. The only way you fail is not taking action. TheAlexJonesStore.com. All right, back in 2 minutes with the latest. 2 National Guards shot in D.C., right by the White House.
Right now on TheAlexJonesStore.com, you get buy one, get one free for any supplement. That includes our incredible Ultramethylene Blue, either the tincture or the capsules, as well as the Shilajit gummies, the Colostrum Plus, the Bovine Colostrum Plus, the Irish Sea Moss gummies. I mean, there's a lot of really incredible stuff. I'm here in studio with Patrick Byrne. I know you're a big fan of the Ultramethylene Blue. Right now, that's buy one, get one free. All supplements, buy one, get one free. It's the Black Friday, came early, mega sale at TheAlexJonesStore.com. Plus, we have a new deal. It's the Hat of the Month Club, where you can sign up and get a new hat every month, which is very fun. Of course, Christmas is coming up, folks. It'll be here before you know it. So do your Christmas shopping for the info warriors in your life. Patrick, you still all hopped up on Methylene Blue?
I am. I pilfer a bottle every time I come. You guys pay me in Methylene Blue, and when it's been more than 60 days since I've been here, so I run out. I will absolutely notice within a few days. Within a few days, my life goes back to being a little more lethargic than I should, wanting to sleep in. And it's not like speed or something. This is something. It's just you feel healthier. You feel.
It's like a clean, smooth energy. It's not coffee where you're sort of jittery. It's just like it's like putting super gasoline in your car rather than the regular stuff. It's subtle, but you notice it.
You do.
Whatever the future may hold, InfoWars will always live forever. The fight will continue. Be sure to follow us on X at RealAlexJones and at AJN Live. And now you can download the #1 news app in the world. Go to AlexJonesApp.com and let the Democrat Deep State Party know that we will never be silenced.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
us, and we accept the challenge. 2 National Guard officers shot right by the White House. Emerald Robinson, a great star reporter, White House correspondent, you name it, Lindell TV, here with us right now, fired from other jobs for telling the truth. I know you've been reaching out to your White House sources. Any new intel for us, Emerald Robinson? Unmute your microphone.
Sorry, I was making calls, trying to find out more.
I understand. Go ahead.
No new intel for you. Sorry about that. But look, I do expect, based on everything we're hearing, that you can expect ahead of the 2026 midterms for some of these color revolutionary tactics to ramp up like we saw in 2020. Remember the Summer of Love? I was reporting at the White House, and there was incidents constantly around the White House. We've already heard from groups that they plan to ramp up activity. And as we've been talking about for the last hour, now that the Democrats are feeling that their operation, or the communists in our country feel that their operation is finally in jeopardy and for real, I think we'll see a lot more. And we have to be vigilant. And I do hope what you said before we went away to the break, Alex, that more people in America, not just, Trump supporters, understand the big picture of what's going on when we see some of these stories. I'll refrain from maybe commenting so much on the National Guard because I really don't know much about it.
Well, here's the deal. There are frauds being exposed. Their money's being cut off. People say, oh, they can win the midterms. They're going to wait. No, my gut is they're not going to wait. They're going to make their move.
I don't think so either. I think we're going to see it. And I worry about President Trump because they are so desperate, right? They tried to take him out multiple times during the campaign. And when they get so desperate, who knows what they're going to do. I think we all need to stay vigilant and prayed up over the next year because this is the most pivotal election. I know we said that about 2024. We bought a lifeline, but I will just reiterate what General Flynn said earlier today on InfoWars in that this is it. This is it. This could be the last election if it's not fixed.
And it just escalates and escalates. That's not hype. That's a total fact. It just escalates. Because they're not giving up. We're not giving up. And now that we're winning, they're more desperate than ever.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
All right. When is your show today so people can tune into that?
You can see me every day from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern on LindellTV.com. And there's an encore at 8 p.m. every day in case you've been watching InfoWars and you missed me on Lindell TV. And I just want to say, Alex, everyone at Lindell TV, we appreciate what you do and the Alex Jones Network. And thank you for having me on to get this out here. As I said, I will be sharing more on X at Emerald Robinson and also more exclusive information dropping on my Substack, emerald.tv.
Emerald, thank you so much. Incredible job.
Thank you.
What a Valkyrie. So, I'm going to explain this. Most of you know this. The subconscious and unconscious mind is hundreds of times conservative, more powerful than the cerebral cortex focus. Cerebral cortex is your narrow focus, what you're looking at. People say gut, that's all your knowledge. Your brain knows it. It's not a hunch. When Sherlock Holmes knows the answer, it's not because he just magically, or in real world, famous detectives who study all, they'll tell you. They don't know why they know. They just, bloop, they know. I can intellectually, politically tell you the war's just starting, okay? The stuff's going to get crazy now. This is just, you look at all the crazies before, it'll look tame. But gut level, woo, baby. I mean, my gut is on fire. It's like the analogy of the sword sting that when a goblin's near it glows blue. Well, I'm glowing blue, baby. So pray, be engaged, keep your head on a swivel, look out. The enemy's getting ready to make their move. They already have. But they're now learning the world's a two-way street, and America ain't asleep no more. All right, Stuart Rhodes takes over. Then, The War Room today with Harrison Smith and more, 3 p.m. Central. Whatever you do, share the live feeds now. Real Alex Jones on X.
Harrison, I am so excited to talk to you. I want to plug the Irish steam off was a big game changer for me. I was having a lot of thermoregulation issues, like morning severe chills and cold in the morning. All that stopped with the steam off because it's a thyroid issue, and the The CMOS has that iodine to heal your thyroid.
Isn't that amazing?
The methylene blue, the methylene blue, life-changing. I love it. I don't need caffeine anymore. Like, it's amazing, but I'm trying to be quick.
It's all right. Hey, when you're plugging, we got all the time in the world.
I love his supplement formulas. I am an acupuncturist. I have a master's degree in Chinese medicine, and he's got some really good formulas put together. And they work really well. I really appreciate it. I've stopped taking all of my other stuff that I was taking, and I just take a lot of you guys' stuff. I mean, because I love you and I want to support everything you guys are doing, but the formulas are good.
You can only find out for yourself what effects these things will have. TheAlexJonesStore.com.
You found it, the tip of the spear. It is The Alex Jones Show.
This is Stuart Rhodes filling in for the fourth hour at InfoWars. We have a breaking story of 2 National Guardsmen shot just down the street from the White House in Washington, D.C., and the White House is now on lockdown for security. The custody, they said that the shooter is apparently down and in custody. We just heard that. This is an indication of the war we're in, and I'm curious to see who the suspect is. We'll see who this is, whether it's the red side of the Red-Green Alliance or the green side of the Red-Green Alliance in this country, whether it's jihadist or a radical communist in our country. This is the fruits of what the left has been doing in our country ever since President Trump was elected in 2016 and served from 2017 for his first term and now again after 2024. They want National Guardsmen to be shot in the streets. The rhetoric out of the left the entire time has been that the National Guard are Nazis and are following unconstitutional orders from President Trump, when the exact opposite is the fact. Everything he's doing to secure our nation with the National Guard is within his bounds as President of the United States. In fact, is within his duty. So we're waiting to see that the condition of the National Guardsmen, but apparently one of them was shot in the head. So let's pray for them, pray for a speedy recovery, and pray for that they survive. One report has it that one of them was airlifted for life flight. So let's pray for them and hope that they survive. But President Trump, that's why I asked the crew earlier, are the National Guard carrying weapons in D.C., which I certainly hope they would be, and the answer was yes. That's why the National Guard is deployed across our country to suppress the insurrection of the radical left. Should always be armed, and they should be armed with one in the chamber so they can defend themselves and others against terrorists. So apparently at least 3 people have been shot, but 2 of them we know are National Guardsmen. So once again, let's pray for their survival. In this situation we're in right now, with the radical left in this nation demonizing, and the Democratic Party demonizing the National Guard, painting them as Nazis, claiming that they're violating the Constitution. This is exactly why you have the seditious 6 among the Democrats calling on the military to refuse President Trump's orders. It's a dog whistle to all the leftists who are still in our military, who still need to be purged out, but it's also an attempt to disrupt and interfere with the chain of command. Now, as a founder of Oath Keepers, obviously from the very beginning of Oath Keepers in 2009, I was all about, and still am, about educating the people who swear the oath and serve in the military and police about their responsibility under their oath. So what I would encourage President Trump to do, piggybacking on the discussion Alex Jones had with General Flynn just last segment, is that they should use this for good. What man means for evil, God will use for good. President Trump should call a press conference, especially now in light of this attempted assassination of 2 National Guardsmen. He should call a press conference and address the nation. And he should have Pete Hegseth standing next to him as Secretary of War, and also Tulsi Gabbard. Both of them have served in the military and are very respected and very credible and very well spoken about the oath. And he should use the enemy's attempt to steer the military wrong to reemphasize that, yes, you took an oath to support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and now we're going to tell you about the domestic enemies of the Constitution and lay it on the table that we are facing an open insurrection by the deep state and by the left and their jihadi allies across the country. And it's been going on since President Trump was first inaugurated. It went on in rapid fashion in 2020 with open rebellion across the country, and we're seeing it now. He should spell out, with the assistance of Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth, that this is their plan. This is what they're doing right now. We are facing an invasion check. That's open invasion of the country has been going on for over a decade. We are facing an insurrection by the left. I believe this is probably the latest example of that going kinetic, and it's not the first one. And we are also facing direct refusal to comply with federal law and direct force being used to impede the enforcement of our immigration laws. You've got ICE agents across the country being assaulted, including being rammed with vehicles and attempting to murder them with a vehicle. And that's been going on for months now. And so I'm not at all surprised that has gone kinetic in Washington, D.C. And I think that's part of their plan, is they are going to get people to attack not just ICE, but also National Guard. And what they're hoping to do is to prompt President Trump into dropping the hammer. But frankly, I think he should. I think he should use this as his rationale for invoking the Insurrection Act, citing the fact that we are facing an invasion, an insurrection, and also direct opposition with force to the execution of the laws of the Union. He should spell that out. The Insurrection Act makes very clear that that's the criteria that he can use for bringing the military and National Guard as the militia into the cities to protect the rights of the American people and to suppress an insurrection, and he should. So when he addresses the people, American people, he should point out that not only are the seditious six trying to disrupt the chain of command, he should also point out that they are involved through Brennan, as Alex Jones has been saying earlier, that they are involved in a long-standing coup. Brennan is acting exactly like Alan Dulles acted after he was fired by JFK. He continued to run the CIA through proxies and from his own little select farm out in Virginia. He continued to actually be the real director of the CIA. And I believe, sadly, the same is true now. Frankly, I think Ratcliffe should be fired. I don't think he's cleaning house inside the CIA. So in addition to directing, as Alex Jones and General Flynn said earlier, in addition to directing Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard to get to the bottom of what's going on with Brennan and his cabal of traitors, they should also bring Ratcliffe onto the carpet and demand the same from him. But frankly, I believe President Trump should use his power to do recess appointments during the holiday break and fire Ratcliffe, fire Patel, fire Bongino, and frankly also fire Pam Bondi, because they have all failed to do their duty. They should put real fighters in there. Jeffrey Clark should be Attorney General, or Ed Martin, or the two of them could work together as Attorney General and as Assistant Attorney General. And in the Department of Defense, they should be purging out all the generals that they already know are still in place, who are like Milley, the same cut from the same cloth, who are the ones that are being dog whistled to. I believe that this Sedition 6, their real targets are those generals inside of the deep state. They believe that they can give them cover and encourage them to go ahead and refuse President Trump's lawful orders by characterizing them as...
This award goes to our top Crime Stopper. E.B. Tisha has had 11 abortions. Thank you.
I believe enough purging has been done inside the Department of Defense. So I encourage Pete Hegseth to charge hard, and with President Trump's backing, to purge the ranks of anyone who is a communist, who's not loyal to this country, right down from the generals down to the privates. Just go and do an investigation inside of DOD and purge out the leftist loyalists who are still there. And the exact same thing must be done inside the CIA, inside the FBI, inside NSA, et cetera. And it has not been done. And inside the DOJ. The exact reason why Comey's indictment and Letitia James' indictment was dismissed is because you have stay-behinds inside the DOJ. That's why President Trump had to bring his own lawyer in. We all saw this. They were going to run the clock out and not actually indict Comey, but run the clock out on the statute of limitations. That's why President Trump had to bring his own lawyer in to get it done within 2 weeks. And then you had a loyalist judge, a loyal leftist judge, who then dismissed the charge. So I really encourage...
Yo, look, it's a unicorn. Damn, it's got a really unique horn. Unique horn, unicorn, unique horn, unicorn, unicorn, unique horn, unique horn, unique.
And their stay-behinds who will continue to be poison pills. And the exact same thing is true of the entire DOJ, the entire FBI, and the CIA. So now, as they were talking earlier, and yesterday also, Alex was talking to someone about the fact that the president now needs his own intelligence service that's loyal to him, sadly, to go help him ferret out what's going on at the CIA. Well, I think he already has that. It's called the U.S. military. So the U.S. military intelligence branches and branch services are the ones who did intelligence for our nation before there was a CIA. And with Tulsi Gabbard's assistance and with Hegseth's assistance as Department of War head, he can and should use the military intelligence once again to give him accurate intelligence and turn inward on the domestic enemies of the Constitution and purge them out once and for all. He could and can and should go to the CIA and the FBI and just kick everyone out of the building and the NSA and just tell them to go home and await further orders, just work from home, and he should turn it all over to Tulsi Gabbard to lead the way, and Pete Hegseth using military intelligence and military personnel who are still loyal to the Constitution. And that way he can go in and do with the CIA and NSA and FBI exactly what DOJ was doing with other departments. They need to DOJ all of those agencies. The intelligence agencies, the DOJ and FBI must be DOJed and exposed. Same thing that Elon Musk did when he first bought Twitter. He threw the doors open and exposed all the internal corruption and collusion between current serving FBI, CIA, NSA, and Twitter to target Americans for censorship, targeting who should be censored and what should be censored. Elon Musk exposed that, which was a fantastic step. That should be done with every one of those agencies. And the fact that it hasn't been done yet shows you that President Trump has sadly appointed the wrong people who are not following his orders. So I strongly encourage President Trump to do exactly what General Flynn recommended, along with Alex, and do hold that address to the American people. But when he does that, to have Tulsi Gabbard and Hegseth lay out the responsibilities under the oath. They can tell the service members that, yes, you swore an oath.
I used to be in a lesbian relationship, not with a woman, of course, but with a man that was a bitch.
My oath is similar. It's also to preserve and protect the Constitution and to execute the laws of the Union. And you must now know exactly who the domestic enemies of the Constitution are. I'm going to show you. And you can lay out the coup, lay out the Podesta plan, lay it all out for what's been done over the last, since 2016. It's an ongoing coup by the deep state, by the left, by the uniparty allies. So you should take advantage of the situation that they've brought the oath to the forefront. And I'm glad, actually. Let us talk about the oath and what it means. So the service members will know that President Trump's authority under the militia statutes, they can spell it all out legally. Here's his authority under militia statutes that have existed for the entire duration of this republic. And here's his authority under the Insurrection Act, which started under Jefferson. So in different forms, it's gone forward throughout history. The authority is still the same.
I try to like people, but then they start breathing, talking, and shit. I don't know how to get that.
Insurrection or resistance to the execution.
My wife Emily here will never be having any more kids. She had her tonsils, her gallbladder, her wisdom teeth, and her appendix removed. She can no longer get pregnant ever again.
When he stands in front of the American people and spells that out.
Dishonor on your whole family. Make a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow.
General Flynn were talking about this. He should rally the American people and call them to action. I agree. But what he should do is call them up as the militia. This is something I've been saying for months now. He has full authority under those militia statutes to call forth all of the militia, not just the National Guard. Under federal statute, the militia is defined as every able-bodied man from age 17 to 45 in this country. That includes every man out there who's listening to this in that age bracket. All of you are the militia under federal statute. That has existed since the founding of this country. And for you veterans, like myself included, I served as a paratrooper, all of you veterans out there until age 64, the president can call you up, and he should. When he addresses the nation and lays out the coup, the ongoing coup that's being done to subvert and destroy our republic, he should call on the American people. He should say, I'm calling forth the militia to call forth and stand to in every county across the country to muster. He should instruct the veterans to take charge of leading and training all of the other men and organizing them and then awaiting for his orders. He should say, we are now facing not just an insurrection by the radical left, we also have known jihadists in this nation. We have Al-Qaeda style attacks. Adams has been bringing back experts on and he can use he addresses the American people and says to face reality. Leading ourselves with false hope. In this situation, the rhetoric coming from the of Muslim immigrants have brought into this country.
Crash!
You can see
oh my God, stop!
What they intend to do, and you hear it.
Let go! Seriously! Come on!
I say now. Of course, he
Stop it! Give me those! No, give them! Let go! Are you kidding me? Let go! I
said be very selective and careful about calling forth the militia in dominated by like Dearborn, Michigan, for example. But call forth those who are loyal to our Constitution and get them together
an AI video
and get them organized.
Now,
what this would mean, though, is that within
pranking their owner
we would be
by waking them up in the middle of the night playing instruments.
False flag or open coup that is thrown by the left or by the radical Islamicists in this country would be so much stronger within a matter of weeks. In a matter of days.
I certainly support the president, but I'm not, what would be the right way to say it? I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president, and I don't think anyone should be. I serve in Congress. We are a separate branch of the government, and I'm not elected by the president. I'm not elected by anyone that works in the White House. I'm elected by my district. That's who I work for. And I got elected without the president's endorsement. And, you know, I think that has served me really well. So I get to be independent as a Republican. And I think what helps him the most is when he has people that are willing to be honest with him and not just tell him what they think he wants to hear. I certainly support the president, but I'm
go to the AlexJonesStory.com and take advantage of this Black Friday specials.